No scripts, no filters, no plan. Just pure, uncut Friday Night Mayhem. It's chaos, it's comedy. It's everything you shouldn't do. It's Friday Night Fuquery. It's Friday. It's Friday Night Fuquery. It's chaos. It's comedy. It's everything you shouldn't do. It's Friday Night Fuquery.
Welcome, everyone, to your favorite cubbyhole on the internet. It is Friday. Why, I don't know, other than that's just how our system works. Before I get any further, because we've got to talk about channel names tonight, among a bunch of other things, with Laura Owens, that we've been listening to in the last less than 24 hours. I am bringing my friend, my good friend in real life. And we've been talking about doing a show together for some time. And he says, you know, I'm not doing anything this Friday. I said, okay, I'm press ganging you onto my show. So here is my good friend, Jeep Daddy.
They got to do the Jeep wave has got to be there.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Is that what it is, really?
Yeah, that's really what
is that like the biker? What is it the bikers do? Is it like is it the same sort of thing?
You know,
but down at the angle because you got to look cool while you're riding the hog.
Oh yeah, of course. Well, they don't do it with the Harleys. I guess that's not a thing.
No, but I've seen it.
Yeah. The prissy BMW ones, they don't like.
No. They don't even look over their shoulder. And the BMW guys, I swear, they all have cameras on their foreheads or GoPros or what have you. And at some point they get arrested because they're doing 120 down the freeway.
In second gear, but they can't help it.
Whee!
Yes, but yes, the Jeep Wave is a real thing, but only for Wranglers and Gladiators. The lower class Jeeps don't get that.
And your upper class Jeep, is that what you're saying?
I mean, I have a real one. Let's just put it that way.
Maybe you should have called yourself Jeep Pimp Daddy. I don't know.
Maybe this is subject to change. Okay, so
yeah, just like my channel name is subject to change. I don't know if I should start there, or since we're talking about Jeep stuff, talk about my car bitching.
Go for it.
Should I talk about my car bitching and how expensive it is to own a car anymore when you go to the dealer? And then we'll talk about other interesting things. So
I'll give you my hot takes later, but go ahead.
Oh, you could give them now if you want. I won't stop you. You know how it is.
Okay. Yes, it is. Dealers are a ripoff, and that's just where we're going to get started. But please continue.
So I was doing some comparing of what they sent me as the estimate versus what it actually cost me.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up paying, and the estimate they gave me was with tax and everything. So when I was comparing numbers today, because I'm about to submit all this nonsense for some insurance stuff, I almost fell off the floor at several $100s difference. And it's like the same list. And I'm still trying to figure out the math. I haven't finished it yet, but we'll get to that. So they quoted me originally with the tax, $2,300 and some change. And what I was invoiced for at the end was just a couple bucks shy of $2,800 with tax.
Whoa.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a delta spread. Like, what happened?
Yeah. I don't know. But I'm going to go through it at some point, and because even some of the numbers, like on the actual invoice versus the estimate, are lower on the invoice. So I'm like, some of the math doesn't make sense here. But then there's some weird things, and I've got to be careful not to flash everything to the camera. Don't want to give my future doxers everything on a silver platter. They've got something, and maybe you can help me figure it out because you're such a gearhead now.
A little bit.
They have something called a total sublet. What the fuck is that? What are we subletting? And that was a $200 charge in and of itself. It says total sublet. Sublet is one word. It's like, because is it because they kept it for a weekend and they were charging me like parking space or something?
If that's the case, then they should absolutely drop that off because that was their own goddamn fault that they kept it for that long for being.
Well, and I'm only bitching
non-planful.
because today I received like 4 emails for customer service surveys.
Oh,
and I was not
Aren't those
kind.
Fun.
I was not kind. Well, I started with a bad Google review because it's like, all these years later, since I've had it since 2018, it's time I share a little bit of my thoughts and their customer service and lack thereof. And then I started getting all these things today while I was at work. I'm like, oh, well, let's just distract myself from what I need to do today. And I'll type a few more reviews, one of which being Hyundai Corporate. So I left nothing unsaid to corporate, including some past stuff that I wasn't happy about. It's I don't know. I just don't know. I've talked to some other people and I said, oh yeah, it's the dealer. You're going to get price gouged.
Yes. I mean, that's the service center is not there to do nice by you. It is another profit center for the dealer writ large.
Big one.
That's why they claim that when you go to purchase a used car, even if it's certified pre-owned, the service department bills the sales department because it's a profit center.
Of course.
That's not fake news like some people have thought. No, it really is. Like those are separate pieces of the whole deal. And so like anytime that they can get you in there and basically bend you over with the stick, they will absolutely do it.
Yes. Oh, terrible. But there we go. Almost $3,000 later for a new driver's door handle, some fluids, some spark plugs, and a battery. Oh, it's just ridiculous. Okay, so that's
next time. Reach out to your friends, and we can.
I knew
some
that,
of those things on the cheap. Yes,
but after my door handle was destroyed by some probably methed out vagrant wanting to take my car for their residence and personal needs.
Yes.
Bruce the Moose. Bruce, if you want a link to hop on and join us, I'll send me an email, Bruce, and you can join in the craziness because we're going to talk some Laura Owens. And Bruce, I think since you and my friend here, Jeep Daddy, have worked in tech, you would have some very fascinating conversations. So for what it's worth, Bruce, if you're not busy, I'll send you a link if you send me an email. But let me know if you do because I don't have my email pulled up.
Well, Bruce says he's at a bar. I have brought the bar to home.
Oh, and what do you have? What are the evening libations?
So this is a Woodford Manhattan with a little splash of Chambord in there.
See, that means nothing to me.
That's fine.
Cheers.
Cheers to your water bottle. Yeah, there we go.
It's still pretty full. I haven't been doing very good today.
Yeah, I figured for the special occasion of making a live debut on your channel, I would break out the Woodford Reserve instead.
Or is it just because it's Friday? Oh, Bruce has to eat dinner. Well, fine, Bruce. Bruce is hopefully recovering in Wisconsin from his week, not week, but few days in San Francisco and the nonsense there. Okay, speaking of San Francisco and all things Laura Owens.
Okay.
Or should we do a little more introductions first? And we don't have to say too much, depending on how you feel about things. We've known each other for a while, and we've suffered similar trauma, and more than one person has told us how entertaining we are. So here we are. Here we are doing what we usually do on Facebook. Or not FaceTime, Facebook.
Yes.
No, you hate Facebook.
Facebook is the devil.
Oh, Bruce is in Silicon Valley. Why, Bruce? Are you looking for another job?
So you're in the devil's lair.
Oh my gosh. He may be rubbing shoulders with, people from his work life. I don't know. I won't probe Bruce too much since he can't hop on to defend himself yet. But all the rumors about Bruce being super tall and super skinny are absolutely true. Omar confirmed it last night. So there's no nothing new there. we all have these mental images of people we haven't met yet, and all you see is, the bust from the head, Everyone will be
Correct.
disappointed if they ever meet me. It's like, oh, he's that short. Oh, Laura Owens might be taller than he is. Although I'll give my weight to Laura Owens. I'll gladly donate some weight to Laura.
I mean, I don't know her very well, and I haven't been following this near as closely as you have, but she probably deserves every pound.
She's supposedly somewhere around 84 pounds.
Jesus Christ.
And she claims to have, eating disorders among all of her encyclopedic pile of maladies that she uses to weasel out of court appearances. Okay, but before we get into her too much, we've got to talk about Omar because he was teasing me last night.
Okay.
And maybe I deserve it. I don't know. I guess I've confused people with the cubbyhole idea.
Okay.
And Omar had some thoughts about that after I sent him a super chat. But to set the stage, just for everybody watching, it was a busy night last night. I went live at 6:45 local time here. Lauren Knighty was already live with Bruce. I ended things pretty quick because you weren't available with your power outage. We're going to have to fix that if you live in the boonies.
That's correct. Well, I mean, if I do end up living in the boonies, I'll end up getting proper generator things.
At least another diesel-powered appliance, and if not, Tesla-powered. No, you probably don't want Tesla stuff, do you?
Ew. Why would you even suggest that?
Ew, yucky, gross.
No, God, I'm just going to come over there and slap you.
You're going to need like a diesel reserve tank on your manor acreage.
I may or may not have already
asked. Like a farm
asked.
tank.
I may or may not have already asked ChatGPT about what it takes to have a diesel tank on the thing. Yeah.
Laura Owens likes to use ChatGPT for legal filings. Okay, never mind. I'm getting ahead of myself. We'll talk about that a little bit more in just a moment. So let me bring this up. Let's see if I can actually operate things properly. Here's Omar from last night, and most of us were in the chat. Anyone that went live last night talking about the new felony indictments for Laura Owens, anyone was talking about it last night. So this was from Omar last night. And let's see if I pushed all the buttons and the audio works correctly since we're still...
Rosalind Duke, how are you with the $50?
Can you hear that?
From all the ladies.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much, Rosalind Duke. I had an opportunity to meet her at the October 21st and 22nd trial with Megan Fox. They were at the restaurant.
So I'll preface by saying Rosalind and I, chat was rowdy on Omar's stream last night. And I was contributing to the rowdiness, as I often do. And
Yes.
Rosalind and I were going back and forth, and she was saying, "Oh, Omar's so dreamy, and it's all for the ladies." I said, "Hey, now there are guys that think Omar's dreamy too." So we were having a little back and forth, and I don't know if Rosalind was trying to upstage me a little bit, so she made that $50 super chat, and I said, "Oh no, you don't, no, you don't," and I did one myself. And this is what happened when Omar read it. And
Aquanetta with the 50. How you been, young lady? With the super sticker. It's good to see you back in here again. Mary Smith with the 10. Is the judge aware that she didn't go to the last court date for a horse competition? I will get to that, Mary Smith. The short answer is I don't know. But it did not come up at the hearing, and we didn't raise it in a motion yet. Echoes from the Tabernacle. May I just say that I'm a fan, sir, of your work. You do good work.
High praise.
I love the way that your channel is evolving. Keep it up, man. I would advise against calling it Echoes from the Cubbyhole, though. I'm not sure where that came from. I thought the Tabernacle was kind of a badass name. I vote for that one. $10 from all the dudes. That is appropriate. Thank you, sir.
So I don't know what to do with that.
Well, your channel's always been named Echoes from the Tabernacle, as far as I'm aware.
Well, and I thought I was about to do a pivot because my opening greeting is gosh, what do I say now? I'm in the wrong place, so I can't think of it. Welcome to your favorite cubbyhole on the internet. So I thought, that made sense. Cubbyhole, whatever. Yeah, because it's a small channel, right? So, and to explain this to everyone, because if Omar wasn't busy talking about his experience, representing Mike Marraccini, combating crazy bitch Laura Owens, I would have said, "Okay, Omar, let me on. We need to talk about this." Let me on your channel. We need to explain this. This is Studio B, everybody. I have a Studio A downstairs, and that's where I do music production stuff, among other things, on my very long in the tooth Mac Pro. I love that giant tin can, but you're biting your lips already, I can tell.
I am, yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
You need to get that replaced, sir. It's old.
Look,
it is
new
old. I
ones
bought it
are-
in 2010. It is an ancient machine.
The new ones will run circles around that thing, but okay.
I know.
Nope, we're not talking about that right now, please.
Well, we can digress as much as we want. This is my show.
I'll follow your lead, then.
But anyhow, so
Yeah.
I was like, oh, Omar, you stabbed me. No, I didn't take it personally, but it's like, maybe he's right. But, as I was about to explain, my little studio up here, it's essentially what started as my gaming rig right as COVID was happening. And I've got it in a dormer window, which is only about 63 inches wide. And I call it my little cubby hole. It's a tight little spot. I mean, I'm otherwise, in another room that turns into my bedroom. So it's always been sort of the cubby hole to me. And it just happened one day. And then I made that silly joke. It just sort of happened too, the cub in the cubby hole. And I went, oh, well, that could work. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was like, I don't know about that. I don't know what Omar's thinking. I don't know what he's thinking, but it's funny.
I like the tabernacle riff because of our shared history and all that fun stuff.
I know. And I don't think many people, since I've been doing so much Laura Owens for the last year and a half practically, get that reference necessarily. Although someone in Omar's chat said, hey, is that the Mo tab? And I said, yes. I've been outed.
Yeah, well,
So,
it originally wasn't there. You had a lot of content analyzing things about music, from the Mormon
did
Church,
some.
the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Stop.
They,
Stop. Every time
God.
anyone says that to me, don't call us Mormons. We're Church of Jesus Christ. Who wants to use that?
Nobody.
Oh, it's
and
insane.
lick my balls. But yeah, so you did originally were talking about things like General Conference and the music, from the Motab Choir, blah blah blah.
Mormon stuff, Mormon adjacent stuff.
Right.
And I've been actually trying to start that sort of thing since, I came out and got divorced and closed the door on Mormonism for good. And, that was 2008. So I've been trying to do something on YouTube for ages and ages. I think I went through about 5 different channels in all that time, just trying to do stuff, but it never stuck.
And to your point earlier, like you and I going back and forth around, strong arming me to get on the podcast, on your stream here at some point, like we have a running list of shit to talk about that is Mormon or Mormon adjacent related, like a running list of like a page and a half on a Mac screen full of like, here's some ideas to talk about. So
yeah. So I don't know. He may be right. It's not like I felt compelled to, now I've got to go to the cubbyhole, but it is something that's going to be there. I mean, my little stuffed cat on the window that IT Goatee Brad, he didn't say anything about the stuffed cat, which sort of amused me. But he said, don't show people your rig. You need a little mystery. He sent me a Twitter. IT Goatee Brad does a lot of stuff for Megan Fox, and he saves her butt. Sorry, Megan. Brad is a very generous soul. He lives in Michigan, and he does IT stuff. So you can relate.
Yes, I can.
And he often does some things for other content creators remotely to get them out of jams when their shit doesn't work.
Well, it is technology. It's part and parcel of what we do.
It is, but okay. So maybe Omar has a point, and I won't feel overly compelled to switch to a cubbyhole by name and association. But it has occurred to me that I'm probably not going to do a whole lot of Mormon content unless there's something exciting, because I'm just kind of over it.
I mean,
I don't
fair.
know.
We do it. I mean, the biggest news in that space is that there is a new emperor.
Oh, I know.
He is kind of,
It
like the
needs some of
Sith
this.
Lord, really.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's where's my long one? Oh, I don't have my buttons laid out. There we go. If any of the buttons play through, I don't know that they do. Did you hear Star Wars?
I barely heard it, but but the chat may be able to help us out on that one.
Maybe I'll figure out how voice mod works in this craziness at some point. I think it sort of works, but it sort of doesn't, because I can hear it loudly, but got all this crap here. Either way, I think that could be his entrance into every Mormon event is, just a little John Williams from Star Wars.
Yes, although I'm sure that John would be offended while he's still around.
Oh, probably. Do you know he wrote, what was it? He's doing another film score. I forget who now. I saw it the other day and I went, he's still writing? Holy shit.
Wow.
That man's going to write until he's no longer breathing. And
he's going to have he's going to have an unfinished work. I suspect that he's going to keel over like the writer in Monty Python and the Holy Grail and just midstream drop, and somebody's going to have to fake their way through finishing that score.
I don't envy the person that has to finish any unfinished work he's got to deliver on. If that's even possible. That's going to be worse.
Let it stop. Like there's end.
Well, it's like what happened with Harry Potter, and he scored the first 3. And it's like all of a sudden, whoa, whiplash! We've got someone else writing for all the rest. Well, actually, it was 2 others, I think, at least. DePlatt and what's the other guy's the British guy's name? I've forgotten now. I used to have all this stuff memorized. I'm getting too old. I won't say how old I am because I don't want to make Bruce feel too young.
Well, then I'm just.
I know. We're too close ourselves in that age bracket.
That's true.
It is. So let's see. I don't want to confess my age because then I'll start getting more gray hair. I'll keep it to myself. My future doxers will just have to figure it out. No freebies here. Otherwise, my detractors on the East Coast might get wind of it.
Oh, Lord.
Come after me some more. Well, I've talked about a little bit about my detractors on the channel, just sort of in relation to legal things. Okay, so now that we've talked about Omar and poking at me, bless him. Oh, let's see. What did Bruce say? Just set it to echoes and use some special characters if you need to, like echoes and other things. Carrots. Fair enough, Bruce. Fair enough. Oh, let's see. Someone asked me a question. I'm not very good at like keeping an eye on the stream and watching the chat in my corner at the same time. Oh, Bruce says Laura Owens is only 5'4", wearing high heels. Oh, is that with the 4-inch heels? Actually, my mother might have been taller than Laura. And my mother was not very tall. I got the short jeans. It's not fair. It's not. Everyone else in my family's taller than I am. I can't stand it.
There's a lot of people that are taller than you.
I know, but I'm not going to wear heels. There'll be no stilettos and long black turtlenecks for me like Laura Owens. Let's see what else is going in the chat. Hi, chat.
Platforms.
I'll acknowledge you, chat. There's 20-some people watching.
Hey.
Greetings, everybody. 23. Welcome to, well, I won't say Cubby Hole Live. I don't want to offend Omar. Okay, I'm over it.
Echoes Live.
Oh, okay. So some of the interesting things, and tell me, my friend, how closely have you been paying attention to this nonsense, other than the 5 or 6 seconds here and there of what I post and put out?
It's you put out. Oh, never mind. Hey okay, all right. No,
I don't have all my sounds loaded. Don't crack too many jokes.
What do you want me here for? Okay, so I have not been following this anywhere nearly as close as you have. I usually live vicariously through you in these matters. So I usually get my updates either via your channel or our side chats in either text or FaceTime.
Oh, yes. The real life version.
Yes.
We've got our own little circle of texting people. Although I'm told that the circle of other content creators that share information back and forth, their phones get rather busy at times when things about this case happen. And I go, God, I'm not sure I could handle that. I get enough Twitter responses that it's like, oh, I'm overwhelmed.
So I know very, very little about this.
Okay, should I give the TLDR? People have been begging me for a TLDR. Let's see if I can do it. I don't know if I can do it in less than 20 hours, but we'll give it a try.
Okay, we'll see.
How far back should I go?
far
Well,
back
maybe I
as you
should
want.
back up to how it started. Oh, nobody texts you, Bruce. I'm insulted. We'll fix that. I'll send you texts all the way over in the Dairyland. We'll fix that at some point. We'll have to all make connections because I mean we're all going to do that anyhow. I proposed a picnic in Arizona for the criminal trial, which may be criminal trials plural. We don't know yet if it's going to be one big trial, which I think would be excruciating, or if it will be 2. 14 felonies for being
that's a
a
lot to
fraud
get through.
bitch. It is. Rachel Juarez, I think it was, on her interview with reality Steve Carbone. He does a lot of Bachelor Nation stuff. I'm not Bachelor Nation anything. Reality TV is not quite my thing,
No,
especially that
it's
kind of
not
stuff.
mine either. Yeah.
But she did an interview yesterday, right as all of the felonies were being announced and hit the public, and she was saying that I lost my train of thought. Damn, that's not happened before. Age or it's Friday. I'm not sure which. What was I
And
saying?
here
Back me
I'm
up.
supposed to be the one that's drinking here. Okay. Now you were talking
Oh, see,
about
this is why I don't
potentially
start.
the TLDR and
Oh yeah.
how we got to where we were, picnics in Arizona, etc.
Oh, okay. I'm just all over the place. Maybe I do have ADHD, but it's just very selective.
Sure,
It's
we'll
on
go
and
with
off
that.
like other things. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's back up. Let's back up to what I know and how all of this first started. And that is, about 2.5 years ago, give or take. Bachelor Clayton Eckert was involved with this woman. And she had, do you know who he is at all other than being on what was it, season 26, I think, of The Bachelor?
I barely even know that that's the thing. Like, I know
He's
that
a
Bachelor exists, but
former NFL guy.
okay.
And he actually played around here for a time. I'm not quite sure when. I haven't dug quite that deep. But apparently he played on the team here.
Okay.
So he got out of that. He did The Bachelor. He's kind of done, low-level reality stuff. But otherwise, when he finished sort of his football career, he ended up in Scottsdale, Arizona, and went into real estate because why wouldn't you after you've done some NFL? But he was a big football guy. That's been a little bit of a type for Laura Owens. He's not the first football guy, but we'll get into that in a minute. So they had a little thing. She approached him. I think she targeted him, frankly. She was looking for an investment property to start an Airbnb, ostensibly with her mother with. So she went after him. He had already been on The Bachelor. We suspect that, Bruce already knows. See, I'm trying to be evasive, Bruce. He was on the Seahawks practice squad. So there you go.
Okay.
See, this is how little I pay attention to sports. I know you share that sentiment for the most part.
Correct.
Unless they're attractive. So she was...
Yes.
Yeah. So she was looking for investment real estate. She found him. They connected. They were looking at properties, and she became rather amorous and flirtatious and started sexting him, apparently. And so he had some gummies one night. She came over, and she gave him a couple of BJs in the course of an evening. And when he realized that, I probably shouldn't have done that since you're like a client, and okay, that was a one-time thing. I was high. I shouldn't have done that. I'm not interested in dating you. And I guess they were in the car together when that happened. And she turned cold and she went off the rails. And lo and behold, I think it was 10 or 11 days later, I'm pregnant from BJ's.
I was about to say
For BJ's.
From BJ. Okay. All right.
Yeah, that makes lots of sense, doesn't it?
Totes. Yeah. I must have skipped that part in health class back in the day, but
evidently she did too. And the rumor about Catholic school girls, which allegedly Laura went to Catholic school, they're supposed to be total sluts, right? I know they don't. Well, maybe they were in I don't know. It would be interesting to know what school it was. Maybe Bruce knows or somebody in chat. Oh, and Bruce says, well, there was grinding too. Still. And what she ended up accusing him of.
If the things in the mouth, if the things in the mouth and not that, how can that still cause pregnancy?
Well, I guess they were naked grinding.
I don't. Full
And some of
disclosure,
his
I'm about as
stuff
gay as it
must have got
gets, so
somewhere up
yeah.
there. And he must be so
Yeah.
fertile and virile that, they both get each
Ooh.
other pregnant, like, just looking at each other.
Oh,
Anyhow,
okay. Oh.
she goes through the motions of, oh, you got me pregnant within, it's too soon to know. I mean, any of us who've taken health class know you don't usually know until you miss a period. You aren't going to miss a period typically in 11 days. It's
Usually
insane.
not.
And all of my extended family who work in healthcare would definitely confirm that. She made a bunch of other excuses. And so what ended up happening, this is all happening, privately at the time. She starts trying to leverage him. He's not very pliable at first. And so she starts to threaten him that, well, if you don't go out with me, and she tried to get him into a dating contract, you need to go out with me or I'm having the babies. And then she starts to threatening him with going publicly to the media, which she did. She went to the Sun tabloid, I think, first as an anonymous woman, but because that wasn't enough fame and fortune for her, she revealed herself. I'm the woman that got pregnant by The Bachelor. And I forget the timeline exactly. But sometime after, she declared being pregnant, she was using P tests, HCG tests. And she was saying, well, see, look, it shows I'm pregnant. And we have since learned that she was using HCG injectables. Not quite sure why, other than maybe for some sort of weird weight loss thing. I talked about weight loss with Laura Owens and the history of people in equestrian things because, she's a horse girl. There's lots of body image issues with horse riders and people in that field. And so she likes to compete with the kids. So I think she was probably on an HCG weight loss thing, or maybe ketamine. I remember seeing something about her like having a ketamine addiction somewhere. I can't remember now, but that might explain a few other things.
Perhaps.
And so she lets it all out to the public, and it becomes a court case. She makes all these threats. She takes him to paternity court, making all kinds of allegations on top of, oh, well, you got me pregnant. And in the meantime, it was, well, you got me pregnant, but then it turned into mysteriously twins. And she starts using sonograms from other places and manufacturing doctors' records from other places. Lots of arts and crafts, as our other content creators call it. And it just turns into this whole big mishmash. So it eventually goes to court. He made his first couple appearances in paternity court unrepresented by an attorney. And she had a couple of guys who came and bounced, and a woman or two that came and bounced representing her. So it was an initial paternity matter that she was trying to use to leverage him. And lo and behold, right about the time I think it was that he finally got representation, and there's some connections there. I mean, it's weird, all the connections here. As this process starts working out in the court system, and with all the motion practice and whatnot, she magically doesn't have a pregnancy anymore as the screws start getting tightened.
Okay.
And she gets the crazy guy, the crazy lawyer, David Gingras. We call him Dingus the Douche Canoe, or Dewey Douche Canoe, since he's a drunkard. And he's got his second DUI offense, being an attorney. Oh,
the fucking douche canoe.
That button.
Perfect.
You probably hear that one real well.
Oh yeah.
I'll tell that's from a Mormon adjacent content creator. And when he said that, I went back and clipped it.
Nice.
He lives to the north. I know where he lives, and I know who he is. He's I would love to meet him too. Anyhow, we'll stay out of Mormonism for now, but if I met that guy, we'd talk about some lawyer things. Anyhow, it all turns into a big case. There's lots of motion practice. This guy, Dingus the Douche Canoe, starts his entrance into this case with this crazy woman by compelling lunch, because people are tired of her shit at this point already. No lawyer's going to compel lunch. That's insane. I need to send you some links and share some of his filings from the first case. They do a trial. That took place June 10th of 2024. And she was still trying to push for paternity. He had some tests done. They had gone to a genetic testing company that could do people that have young unborn twins. That was one of the things I think she liked to use twins for, is because she thought it was impossible to genetically test for. So they do some
Okay.
tests. There's some fighting back and forth about that because she wasn't very compliant in doing it. Because, if you get some factual science behind it that you're not pregnant, it's going to come out pretty fast.
Mhm.
So they do the tests. It comes back little to no fetal DNA, which is, sort of the legal soft answer for you've got nothing there. But she kept fighting with people that, no, the testing's ongoing. And so that was kind of a big piece of all of that. She stuck by her guns, and she'll stick by them, I think, till she's dead. She's nuts. She is certifiable. And if Lauren Knighty were here, she'd say, okay, you can't say that. No, I think she is. I think she's off the rocker.
I mean, and much like other figures we see in today's landscape of public figures or wannabe public figures, there's no room to backtrack because the moment that you do that, you're just done.
Yeah.
So there's no, yeah.
Well, and I think part of her problem is that both of her parents were in media and radio. Her father is the legendary Ronn Owens from KGO Radio San Francisco. That's an AM station. So he's no Howard Stern, but he was sort of, upper, lower, middle echelon San Francisco media royalty. They like to hang out at House of Prime Rib, which a bunch of people went to in San Francisco, and I'm slightly jealous of when they were at the trial craziness. So just quickly, the trial on a narrow scale, because that's like 2 hours of, we could do a watch party of the trial of Laura Owens and Clayton Echard's paternity trial.
I don't know if my liver can handle that, but please continue.
No, I don't think we have time. We'll be here all night. This is a 2-year saga already. And we're just now getting to criminal stuff for her, which I'm certain will go well into next year. 14 felonies. The first trial for her criminal stuff is supposed to happen in January. I think it's going to get bumped into spring at the earliest. There's just too much. And now that there's more, and depending on whether or not they consolidate or they keep the cases separate, which is anybody's guess right now, I think this is going to be going on for another year and a half. Just what I know. But anyhow, the short story of the trial was, they go through all the stuff on what happened and how it happened. She brought in a crazy doctor who retired from, who was an OBGYN doctor, I guess, or something like that. Dr. Medchill. And he was nutty as a fruitcake too. Oh, yeah, guys dribble and shoot, so it's entirely possible that he made her pregnant, but there's been zero evidence of pregnancy. And when it came out that she was fabricating medical documents, she was stealing sonograms, she had claimed that she had gone to Planned Parenthood anonymously to get sonograms, which is impossible. You cannot go into any medical providing establishment, period, without them knowing who you are, providing proof of identification, all that kind of stuff. But she thinks all these people are stupid or more stupid than she is, and she just sells this nonsense. So all this stuff comes out in the trial, and she's getting cross-examined by Clayton Echard's legal team, and she falls to pieces. The story just falls apart. And she starts breaking down, and one of the things she said that, according to people that were at the trial, there's this little joke that's been running around because she's been running around perjuring herself, and it came out before the trial. And Megan Fox, and if it wasn't going to be stealing from Megan, I'd bring up her song. Megan did a AI song called A Little Minor Perjury. It's a great little tune. And she was on the stand, and I forget exactly what the questioning was, but she was on the ropes. Deandra Arena, who was co-counsel at the trial, was just putting her up against the wall, and she starts falling apart. And I think they were talking about the sonogram and all the changes that Laura made to make it appear to be hers. And Laura's response was, well, that's just a little minor thing. And there was snickering out in the courtroom, and Gregg Woodnick, the lead attorney for Clayton Echard, says, okay, be quiet, everyone. Apparently it was the bailiffs in the courtroom that were snickering at her saying it. But all of the rest of us, knowing that song that Megan made, A Little Minor Purge, when I saw the trial footage when I got back from my little vacation, I thought the same thing. I was singing the song in my head the second she said it. So it's like, oh, well, there was a fun moment at the trial. But the trial in a nutshell was she was found that she was never pregnant. She was determined to be a fraud. She was supposed to pay Clayton Echard all these fees and costs. And she was submitted by Judge Julie Mata, who presided over the paternity trial, for criminal referral. And this is June a year ago. Fast forward all this time, as you know, everyone's kind of picking apart stuff, learning about Clayton Echard and Laura Owens. All these other guys start coming out of the woodwork who were either involved or in a relationship with her to some extent. And currently, there's at least 5 known men. Only 3 have come forward. I know who the other 2 are. I've done some research on them, but I've kept it to myself. I had someone in one of my comments say, how do you know about this other guy? And I won't say his name because he's decided to stay out of it. And we know why, because she's a crazy, vindictive, egomaniacal, legalistic, vexatious bitch. And her parents are equally as insane, I think. Her mother certainly is. And so that's the first chapter.
That's just the first chapter.
That's just the first chapter.
Oh my God.
So
Wow.
the latest chapter, the most recent chapter, which concluded this week, was with a guy she was seeing while they were still living in San Francisco, named Mike Marraccini. And they were together, I think, 2016-ish? Bruce can help me. He might know dates. There's so much stuff in my head, I can't keep it straight anymore. So I don't know how Rachel Juarez does it. It's years. We're talking about 12 years, at least, worth of these antics, where she would get involved with a guy. They would be uninterested in her. She would claim to be pregnant by them rather quickly and instantaneously, whether or not they had sex. And then she would use all kinds of weird medical things to keep her claws into them. So Mike came out as one of the other guys, and a guy named Gregg Gillespie came out as one of the other guys that, you know, she's done this nonsense to. So Mike was the most recent one who was represented in San Francisco. And they saw each other for about a year, Mike and Laura. And same sort of thing. There was all these stories that happened. A trip to Iceland where Mike had to hide in the airplane toilet for a few hours to get away from her. There was some anonymous napkin lady woman who said, oh, he's so abusive to you, you should get away from him. And we call her the napkin lady. We don't know if she really exists. Laura's made up quite a story to make her sound plausible, even giving her... Laura likes to make up people. She'll make up names. She's impersonated other people to try and sell her stories.
Wow.
You roll your eyes.
There's something terribly certified. I am no professional in that
Cluster
space,
B
but
for sure.
Yeah.
And cluster B personality disorders on top of, you know, being a compulsive pathological liar on top. I mean, there's so many layers to her insanity. I think it's going to take, you know, psychiatric professionals some time to sort her out, if it's even possible. I'm not totally convinced it is.
It doesn't sound like it.
You know some of my
layers
external
here.
history, so
Yes.
I don't know that she's fixable, but that could be another subject. So, I mean, the
Well,
story
if
is,
it goes this deep, you know, and like somewhere
years,
she's got
decades.
this playbook of date somebody, pregnancy scam, you know, all this stuff. Like she's clearly learned this behavior somewhere, and it's like, and so she's just trying to play the same playbook over and over again, which is, of course, the thing that always gets these. It doesn't matter if it's like a scam like this pregnancy thing, or in my profession in information security, they do the same thing over and over again, and they eventually get caught because they either get sloppy or because they are doing and following a pattern that happens all the time, and then suddenly, you know, everything sort of just like, oh my God, the board, the cork board with all the strings going all over the place. It's like, son of a bitch, this makes sense. And it's like,
and see, this is why I brought him in, chat. He's a brilliant mind of his own, and we don't hang around dummies around here. So my good friend Jeep Daddy is well versed in crazy patterns of behavior. Ding! Yeah, see, this is where I want to be able to hit a button and have magic effects. Just ding, you know.
Yeah.
How much more do we... Okay, we could talk about the next chapter, which is Mike Marraccini, who is another former relationship. She did the same sort of things too. But with Mike's case, it was more severe than just, oh, you got me pregnant, I'm trying to go after you for paternity and get money or whatever. She accused him of all kinds of physical abuse during sex, just being abusive. Everything that she could come up with, she threw at him. And that was sort of the basis for her getting a domestic violence restraining order back in, I think, in 2018, for starters. And she has kept renewing it. Even though she moved away years ago, she's lived in Arizona since 2021, and Mike Marraccini's stayed in California. And he's married with a wife and a couple of kids. And is it him that's got another on the way? Or is it Gregg? I can't remember. So I can't keep it all straight. Too much. It's way too much.
Yeah.
So after the end of the Clayton nonsense, she decides to renew her restraining order against this guy she hasn't seen in like a decade. In California. I mean, they're miles apart. And this is after she failed her trial in Arizona. And after she was initially indicted for her first round of frauds for 7 felonies with the Clayton Eckerd nonsense. And she has the unmitigated gall to go and renew a restraining order, and not just renew it, but make it permanent against this guy she has nothing to do with. So that's what's happened most recently in the last month and a half, has been that process with Mike Marraccini and her trying to get a permanent... I'm exhausted already. I need a nap.
My
We're
goodness.
we're not even at the latest stuff, and I'm already zapped.
Yeah, because there was some shit that went down apparently last night or yesterday or something that it caused you and your cohort of analysts to go after.
Me and the Justice for Victims of Laura Owens community. Laura and her nutcase attorney, Dingus the Douche Canoe.
The fucking douche canoe.
I'm going to find excuses to push it. They call everyone the Justice for Clayton cult. Because, what else can you do when you have a losing case other than vilify everybody and call them a cult? It's not very good legal strategy, but that's what they do. And anytime she has some sort of issue about things getting out into the public, she's always, the Justice for Clayton cult's going to come after me and harass me. No one has come after her. She plays the victim like none other.
Mm-hmm.
She missed her calling being a first-rate, like character actor. Someone who's always getting murdered or something. We don't want Laura Owens to be murdered. This is just hyperbole. It's not a statement, because I know certain people watch other content creators and look for anything they can. No, we don't want Laura to be harmed. We want Laura to be helped. And we want her to be helped in the most efficient way possible, which unfortunately looks like it's going to be in prison. But that's her choice. She could drop all this bullshit at any time, but she and her family choose not to.
They just keep on going. And that's the biggest difference between her and her family and an actual actor, is that the actors know when to stop, more or less. Like there's some of them that are still a little loony.
Oh, sure. Yeah, there's some nutties, of course.
But
it's
generally
Hollywood.
speaking,
there's a lot of nutties.
It's but there's she doesn't clearly know when to stop. So, I mean, she would be a complete and utter failure, even if she were to be a character actor, yeah. Okay.
No, I'm pretty sure it'll be the hill she dies on, because she has no impulse control. And I could segue into all the stuff I was going to cover, but maybe I should just kind of wrap all the rest of what's happened in a little bow. So Mike was victorious, defeating her attempt to keep a restraining on him for life, which has a lot of restrictions to freedom. There's a lot of constitutional issues with that, because you can't fly without being investigated. You can't have firearms. There's the whole list of kit and caboodle stuff that if someone's got a permanent against you, it'll impact you for the rest of your life until one or both of you are dead. But that's what she's after, because she's just so awful. She's an evil monster. That's as nice as I can be without calling her a cunt. She's an evil cunt. So that whole trial went through. We'll come back to that, because that's where the juicy stuff is, since it's the freshest. So Mike Marraccini got that trial taken care of. That was pretty bumpy, because it took 3 days to finally get it dismissed. When she ultimately decided not to show up, she was never planning to show up to her own trial, her own cause of action that she filed against this guy. So what happened recently, because you brought this up, as we're all celebrating this win in San Francisco, while everyone's kind of talking about it, it comes down from the Maricopa County Attorney's Office that she's indicted with 7 more felonies with guy number 3 that we know about, who lives in Arizona, who lives in Scottsdale. I think he's in Scottsdale. You know, Scottsdale, Phoenix, it's like the same metro area.
Yeah.
He had a thing with her after she moved there, I guess. And she is being charged with 7 more felonies from everything she did to him in Arizona. So now that's how we have 14 felonies for being a fraud, perjurious,
was
phony
that up to
bitch.
14 or is it now 21? Because
Well, it should be 21, but we don't know. There could be more coming. There's still an accomplice named from all of the felonies with Clayton Eckert, who I think is her mother. I'm pretty sure it's her mother. There's enough evidence for that. If there's some other person we don't know about it, I don't think it's going to be her sister. Her sister's got a husband and kids and has her own problems. So if the sister's getting involved in this kind of stuff to be an accomplice, that's intense.
wow.
Bruce says 14. Not all of them are mere perjury. Yes, exactly, Bruce. Falsification, schemes and artifices, fraud, perjury, forgery, tampering with evidence, impersonation. I could bring it all up, but I'm tired of talking about all of that. A lot of them do overlap. There are some similar ones between the two cases, between the two guys. But the most recent one that caught Rachel Juarez's attention is the impersonation one. And it caught me too, because I was waiting and we've seen it. We saw her impersonate people trying to sell herself to content creators and to other people in the media. And she was faking these personalities, including doctors. And we believe at least one lawyer she's impersonated. So all of this shit just kind of comes out yesterday in the afternoon. I think it was about 1 in the afternoon, thereabouts. So midday, as everyone's kind of doing their interviews and they're celebrating the win in San Francisco, all this celebration happens yet again that she's being indicted with more shit for more of the same stuff plus new stuff. So it was a busy night last night. And now 3 guys are going to get their chance. Well, guy number 3 will get his chance via criminal stuff. So, but what I was going to talk about more this evening, and gosh, we've already been at it almost an hour. It's amazing.
Wow.
See, this is like real life, isn't it?
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's probably not go until 11 or so because that'd be a long stream. And
Well, you know when I turn into a pumpkin, so I can't do it.
that's true. Yeah.
I mean, even though I've got my MG Law styled hat on, I can't go into the wee hours of the morning like that man can. I don't know how he does it. He's going into like 2 a.m. with a wife and kids and a law practice.
Yeah.
He's still going when I'm going to bed. I think he's a little bit younger than I am. I'm pretty sure he is. But
yeah. Same.
So some of the stuff, as you know, as we're talking about just sort of the review of the case in San Francisco, Mike Marraccini's legal counsel, Omar Serrato, who we played earlier, and Rachel Juarez of the Emmy-nominated Hot Bench. I haven't seen that show yet. Rachel's going to hate me for it. I need to watch some of that show. Do you know that show?
I don't.
It's one created by Judge Judy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to have to find it and do a little watching. And now that they've got an Emmy, I mean, come on.
I mean, if it's Judge Judy
we'll
material, that's got to be something good. And we can absolutely have a watch party for that.
I know. We'll have to watch Rachel in action on her show. So some of this, they both did interviews. Some of them, a couple of interviews. Rachel did one with Steve. That was excellent. I've included that in the show notes chat if you want to reference that in your future watching. Omar did essentially 2 interviews. He did one with Megan Fox, and then he did his own live last night, of course, which we played a little excerpt about. I could play more about myself, but I won't be quite so egomaniacal. But they did a lot of talking about what happened behind the scenes with this restraining order in San Francisco that crazy bitch Laura was trying to keep going. And it was shocking. Well, maybe it wasn't exactly surprising, but there was more going on than we thought. All of us that are talking about this, we were just kind of looking at the court filings as they were coming in and talking about it. And some people were a little bit more connected, might have known a little bit more, but they were being pretty quiet because, you know, they're representing a guy and they're in the middle of a trial. So they didn't let it all out till yesterday. And it was interesting stuff. So some of the things that other people who follow this case for a while know about was that David Jingers Stingers the douche canoe.
The fucking douche canoe.
Are you going to roll your eyes every time I push that button?
Maybe we'll find out.
I could use this button
I
because
can't, I can't turn it into a drinking game because I would be.
I would not.
I'd be on the floor
I would
at
not
that point.
suggest turning this in. Someone had a drinking game with this case, and I think I heard someone say that they were developing kidney disease with all of the shots they were taking, or at least liver disease.
Well,
I'm not sure which.
Yeah, I was about to say, if that's already gone all the way past the liver into the kidneys, then they've certainly done a number on themselves with that.
With some of these things, if you turn it into a drinking game, you're going to be out in 5 minutes.
Oh God,
You've got to find something esoteric because it's everything that she does, everything she throws at people turns into a space on the bingo card. And I guarantee you'll hit it. You don't need a free space on that bingo card. You're going to get it.
Nope.
I could use this button instead because it's both of them.
It's douche canoe and pregnancy faker.
That one works too. Douche canoe and pregnancy faker. Oh, okay. So people who follow this have noticed that he was trying to get into this case because Laura and David are joined at the hip. I don't know what infatuation this man has with her, but he's got one. At least that's my opinion. Joined at the hip. He represented her. At first I thought he was representing her on contingency. So, because he was just trying to work not only as an attorney who's not very good at what he does, but also as her PR agent. So I thought, oh gosh, the only way this makes sense for him to keep the bills paid is he's expecting a big payout in the end. That's what I was thinking at first. But as far as we know, and it's not like we can look in his books and, confirm where money's going in and out, although that may come up in his bar complaints. We don't know. He's in hot water with the bar. And I'll talk more about that at the end. Someone let some things slip today. There's some breaking news about Dingus the douche canoe and his bar status. So we'll get to that at the end. See, I buried the lead. I've buried the lead for an hour now. I'm a pro. Gosh, I love it. I can bury the lead for half a show. No, it's only because Laura Knighty had someone else on her channel today, and I caught just enough to go, there's more. And it's from another outside source. So hold on for the breaking news. Maybe I should get my breaking news button ready, just in case. Actually,
just in
remember,
case.
I think it's at the bottom of my list. So David has always been trying to get into her case in California. And Omar was kind of trying to beat him off with the stick because David was trying to get in for his own purposes. And he said to Mike's counsel, Omar and Rachel, well, I just need Mike's testimony so I can deal with my bar stuff. In an hour-plus long conversation they had, trying to sort through the case. And they were trying to determine, David, are you in or are you out? Are you representing this bitch or are you just fucking around? So they finally kind of put the pedal to the metal and filed for a disqualification of him because it came out that he's not there really to represent her. And Omar and Rachel, being decent and ethical attorneys, can see through his bullshit. I mean, the guy is just a total scam artist. That's my opinion of him. Do you know about the dirty? Let's talk about a little bit about David Jinger's sister, the dirty.com. Does that ring any bells?
Yeah, no, nope, not even close.
I think it was like a late aughts sort of rumor website. It started as kind of ragging on people in the Scottsdale party scene, and then it turned on to just a worldwide, submit whatever defamatory, nasty, skanky stuff about people you can come up with. And so David was representing the guy who owned that. I forget his name. He kind of went by two names. His real name was kind of secret, and then he had sort of a stage name. So they were trying to deal with people trying to sue this guy and the dirty.com for, First Amendment issues, and David was defending him. And he sort of takes credit for having won this, even though at that time, that's when other platforms like Meta and Facebook and all those people were trying to find off First Amendment liability issues. So he thinks that was a win for him, but he styles himself as a First Amendment free speech internet lawyer.
Oh, good Lord. Gag me
I'm
with
not
a
going to bring up.
spoon
I'm not going to
anyway.
bring up his company page. I'm just not going to do it. Yes, chat. I know David posted a new blog bitching about someone he's calling Hiratazura, who it isn't. I think it's another Redditor. I know it's there. I'm not talking about it. I'm not giving that man any more spotlights than what he does criminally, which is going to be his DUI case. He hasn't earned it from me, and I don't want to invite the evil eye. And if that man tries to come at me, he's going to regret it. Stick my own legal counsel after him, and I'll win that one too. Before I get
And I'll be on the
blustery.
sidelines with the popcorn watching that one too.
Oh no, you won't. You'll be my binder, Brad. That asshole
Oh.
tries to come after me. Brad, IT Goatee Brad was carrying all of the trial binders for Omar and Rachel. There's a picture of him with just this. Bless him. He's such a helpful guy when he's not doing computer stuff. Okay. See how easy it is to get derailed? There's so many layers to every single stupid little thing.
But this is what we do. And then on top of that, there's this super complex legal case and blah, blah, blah that happens. I just have to wonder, if Laura and Dingus there, is there like a thing? Like, are they like, does she have trying to have something on him, or does like he know all the dirty secrets and that's why these two are so entwined with each other? Because like, why on God's
That's a
green
good
earth would
question.
anybody who's fucking sane enough, why would they do that?
Well, number one, why would they represent someone like this? Well, I think the short answer is well, he always claimed that he didn't know any of her past. I'm not sure that's necessarily true. You can't trust anything that he says any more than you can trust anything she says. Is about how I
sound
read
like
it.
Right.
Certainly in the trial with Clayton, he seemed, his excuse was, "Oh, that's before my time. That's before my time." I think he was kind of using it as another tactic. But some people have theorized that they're in a physical relationship or romantic relationship. I think he's at least infatuated with her because she calls him up when she's getting her casita raided. David, what do I do? There's these police here, and it's not even 7 a.m. She runs to him like the defender boyfriend, which I thought was bizarre from the beginning watching that footage. See my previous videos, chat. We spend 4 hours looking at all of that body cam footage.
Yeah, it's just like kind of like, you know, what Jen and chat just said of like, there's got to be.
Hi, Jen.
There's something. There's something, because why?
Yeah.
Like if
what does he get out
all
of
these things to what is he getting out of it? Because clearly it's not a bunch of money unless like Laura's parents
with
are
the
just, like,
family being
bleeding
bankrupt,
out.
I don't know where money would come from.
Right. So where is he, like, what's the, because like,
what's the
lawyers are
motivation?
what, 900 an hour like normally? So like, what's the deal?
It depends.
So, I mean,
500 upward is 500 is kind of the low end of the scale in my experience.
Right. So like, why does he stick around? Why does he do all this shit?
Supposedly he was paid for her initial representation in the paternity case. And I've seen some numbers theorize that it was around 50 grand. I don't know factually for sure. That's a hunch. It was funny that right after that trial for the paternity case, he's on a cruise. So it's like, well, he got some money because he's disappearing on a cruise for like a week and a half. And if anything happens in the results of this case, Judge, I'm going to be out of the country and not available by internet, even though he's like emailing from the boat. So it's just so yeah, you know what he gets out of it is questionable. Some people have thought that because of Ron Owens' fame and Mom's sort of lesser fame, that maybe he's trying to latch onto that media fame legacy to kind of elevate himself and maybe kind of kick his career lifespan a little further down the road.
Yeah.
And I think
yes,
the other
Bruce
part of
is
it,
correct. Narcissists do love attention. That's
and he's class A. He is a class A narcissist. Both of them are. Yeah. They are two peas in a pod, just like I think Laura and her mother are two peas in a pod. And I don't know if we'll get to her because I could spend days talking about her. I've spent a lot of time digging into her past, and some more of Mom's past has come up too, as it relates to the bankruptcy and borrowing of money from Mom's family's estate. Her brother's gay and has a husband, and they've invested money in New Mexico for arts and that sort of thing. And she was always going after them to get money and loans. So it's just like there's no end to any of this insanity. It's like the whole family is just a big fraud. and they all feed each other, and it's all self-perpetuating. And
So where does it like from? Because you say that the family is fraud. So where do you
I feel
think?
they are fraud.
Okay, fair. Opinions.
Opinions, yes.
Where are they in, the opinion of fraud family versus like the current attempted dynasty that currently occupies the swamp known as Washington, D.C. with the Orange Menace? Because
Well,
that's
that's
a
a good
family,
question. Do
in
you
my
mean
less than humble opinion, is a family of fraud from the onset. So, I mean, are they looking at that and thinking, oh, I can
we
be
can get away
that
with it?
notoriety as well, too, because they can get away with it. Therefore, I can too? Like, is this like hero
That's a fair
worship shit?
question. I'm not sure it's necessarily that connected. I think they capitalized on their fame in San Francisco so much that everything just turned into entitlement, and it just became like a genetic defect for the children. But Ron Owens interviewed just about every president on his show and other big people on his show. So he's had some big people just in his radio career. He interviewed Obama at least once for sure. There's some others. I'm not going to remember them off the top of my head. So he was a little bit of a mover and shaker, but again, he was no Howard Stern. But supposedly at the height of his career, he was pulling in a little over $1 million annual salary, which is pretty high for an AM station.
I guess
Even
for
in San
AM,
Francisco.
like,
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, AM's not irrelevant, obviously. Like, there's
No, it
a lot
still
of
exists, but
talking heads that have still, been
yeah.
able to
Well,
make their
AM, I
way.
think these days is mostly for a lot of right-wing conservative channels because that's just what's available, and it's cheaper stuff than main market FM stations or Sirius or satellite or whatever else you could do. That's big market stuff. So he certainly had a certain level of fame and regard. Allegedly, they could walk into almost any restaurant in San Francisco and probably get comped a dinner that would otherwise cost people 4 figures. Like House of Prime Rib, that was one of their haunts, supposedly. The Owens family liked
sounds
House
like
of
a
Prime
fancy
Rib.
restaurant. I don't know. what
Recent reviews suggest it's kind of fallen in stature in the last several years. Maybe it was better when
is
they
it a
lived there. I
Michelin?
don't
Is
know.
it Michelin starred? Like,
No, I don't think so.
well, I've eaten at fancier restaurants than that. So what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know. They're a quirky family, to say the least. A family that engages in crimes together. That's my opinion. And the other stories about him, just talking about money, since we're talking about money and fame and social status. Aside from his pretty good sized salary, supposedly he had a problem with gambling.
Oh, okay.
Supposedly, there's a few people that have said, "Oh, Ron had a gambling problem," but if you're pulling in $1 million a year, are you gambling it all away? Because some of the things that have come out, and you'll remember this. This is history for those of us who've paid attention to this for a long time. On Laura Knight's channel, a lovely gal named Big Tiff Dog. I love her name. She's funny. She does a lot of, I don't know if it was real estate she worked in, but she does a lot with numbers and finances and that sort of thing. She has dug into the family's historical financial records going back to the 90s. And they have been running mortgages and loans and bad investments since the 90s. And there wasn't much money there. So when they sold their San Francisco house for about $3 million, when they moved to Scottsdale in 2021 and bought a $1 million house, roughly, they were underwater already. So
Jeez.
where did all this money go unless absolutely all of it was being gambled away by Ron? And to fill in the void, they were taking out mortgages and HELOCs and all these other things. So it's like there was never any money to begin with. And I wonder if all of this sort of media storm and drung that Ron Owens is so well paid and he's making $1 million in salary and he's got all these amazing benefits. I wonder if it's bullshit now.
When around was that time that they sold that house and moved to Scottsdale?
They moved to Scottsdale 2021. So they sold their San Francisco house 2021. And I think it sold for several million. But they were already underwater with other mortgages and equity loans and things before
Right.
before they moved. So they took out loans, as I recall. And forgive me, chat, I'm not as good on the money numbers as Tiff is. I'm just not going to get there. Anytime they have a stream and they talk about the bankruptcy and all the money, my eyes start glazing over because it's so esoteric to my brain. I didn't do so well at math. Algebra sucked for me. We did okay
I
at
did fine
business
with
math, but
algebra. Yeah.
you start talking about loans and equity and all this stuff and my eyes glaze over. So a lot of it gets lost on me. And if Tiff were here, she would explain it and you'd probably, you go, oh God, I don't get it. Because it's so much. But it's pretty clear that their spending habits were terrible. They have run up just about every credit card they've ever owned to nothingness and never paid them off. Well, not never, but they own several credit cards and banks to the tune of several $1 million, I think is what it is now. So they tried to file for Chapter 13. That sounds like it's going to get booted because the Attorney General of Arizona filed a complaint and objection for the Chapter 13. So something else is going to happen there with bankruptcy. But it seems like there was never any money. Yet all this time, Laura Owens is going to Barry's boot camp every day. And she's competing in all these horse equestrian things all over the place all the time. And that's thousands upon thousands of dollars just to enter those things. And in California and Arizona and other place where she was hiding from her DVRO trial in San Francisco.
Yeah. Well, one of my in-laws is a horse person, and I am well aware that it is at its beginning is an expensive hobby. Like they were doing was running a ranch that did horse boarding and that sort of thing. And they, one of the horses was valued at $500,000. And that was just the value of the horse, not the ongoing expenses to feed and, take care of and all the things. Like that was just the estimated deal. So like point is that horse people are weird. No offense to anybody in the chat or watching.
You're not the first person who said that.
But and my in-law would absolutely agree that they are loony because it is the.
I don't know any.
I'm a Jeep person. I have an expensive hobby. I've got a lot of expensive hobbies, but Jeeping is and off-roading is not a cheap adventure by any stretch.
It would cost more with a horse, is what you're saying?
Oh God, by yards. Like
leaps and bounds. Leaps and bounds.
Oh, fuck yeah. No question. There's no competition.
Scorpion says, I think the long and the short of it is they borrow from Peter to pay Paul. Yes, I believe that's true. But the question is how did it start? If Laura Owens and family Owens, Ron and Jan, we'll leave the sister out of it for now. The hole had to be dug somewhere, but we haven't found where that hole begins.
There's money shuffling going around, obviously going around somewhere. Because
let's talk about that even more.
Yeah,
because not only is there the parents' careers. Mom got out of radio in the mid '90s when Laura was about 6, so it was 1996 that Mom sort of retired from being at KCBS in San Francisco. But Ron was still working up until pretty much they moved and he retired. Parkinson's of 23 years. The man's not doing well. He's got a lot of mobility issues. He's still fairly cognitive, which I was surprised by. Yeah. But
they
with
beat Parkinson's, you can still be quite cognitive.
Yeah.
It's just can't move your body the way you want to.
Yes, they've got other ventures they had. So Laura and family, I think it was more Laura than family, but the family subsidizes her. Had a thing tied to her horsing, being a horse girl, Quartet Farms, where she bought, traded, and sold and leased high-end horses, which, according to some people in the field, she was saving them from being turned into glue at the glue factory, but that she trains them and then sells them for a profit.
Careful, you might upset Ikembo. She's like, look, we're not weird.
He means that in the best of ways, Kim.
These are not my words.
Someone else said
love my in-law.
Someone else said it in a stream the other day. I can't remember who it was, but someone said horse people are weird.
Yeah. And I was at a lunch/wine tasting with another horse person earlier today, and it was like, that's a delightful human. We all have our weird things. I go and try and roll or not roll Jeeps on forest trails. So
I think glue would be the better investment. Absolutely, Jen. I think there's money to be made in glue, and all of those fees are going to have to go to Clayton Echard first because he's first in line. That number is almost $200,000. That bitch owes Clayton Echard for the bullshit she put him through.
wow.
We're only getting started. She's going to be in the whole
Yeah,
millions at the end of all this.
Where is that? Like, because she's insolvent. It's like
Yes.
it's kind of like some of the other
she's
people
been declared
that,
indigent now.
Okay, so
She
it's
filed for
official.
indigency and got it. And
Okay.
since I'm convinced her finances are directly tied into mom and dad, because mom and dad do everything, and mom is always showing up with her at horse events and everything else, including Barry's boot camp recently. And we'll talk about that before the end of the day too, because that's part of the breaking news. Mom is now joined being in Barry's boot camp with daughter who's indicted on all these felonies. These people just don't get it.
Wow.
They don't get it. So what I was going to say is they've got all these other business ventures. Some of them are no longer viable. So they had Quartet Farms where they did the horse thing. They also had Liz Max Investments, named after Laura's mother, Elizabeth Naylor Owens, or Elizabeth Ann Naylor is her maiden name. So this is the house that she started to buy through Clayton Echard. And it's a Airbnb. It's managed by a guy. But they still own the property. They're underwater on that, as if I understand the finances correctly. Mom and Laura also had a podcast called Nobody Told Me. And that ran for several years, and they had paid spots. And according to different sources, the stories are inconsistent from family Owens. That could earn them anywhere between $50,000 and $200,000 a year, that podcast. But as all of this shit has come out, of course, people, they supposedly haven't made a new episode in years. They just keep recycling the old ones. I haven't confirmed that yet because I just don't care. I've gone back and pulled out some of their podcasts, and I may touch on some of them while we're waiting for criminal trials to happen and just kind of keep doing some Wayback Machine episodes. People like that. I did a Wayback Machine on Laura, and that one did pretty well with the viewership. So,
yeah.
What else? The horses, the podcast, the Liz Max. I feel like I'm forgetting. Oh, Stylette. She had a style company where she tried to emulate a high-end riding gear clothing company. I don't know. What did Tiff call it? It was there was a name for it. It's a certain type of store that they're affiliated with. We don't know how well that's done. Probably not very well. But the family's underwater in bankruptcy, like $2 million. And she has the nerve to keep filing things against people. Filings that she can't afford to defend or progress.
Well,
the budding music correct. Thank you, Kim. I forgot about
thing she can afford. The only person she can afford is apparently Dingus the dipshit, and can.
Well, she may be paying him in other favors. We don't know. Some people have said that. I'm not the first to have thought it. I'm not the last. Lauren has said pretty explicitly, "Oh yeah, they're bumping uglies." I don't know. It's possible. There have been rumors that David's marriage to his real wife is not gone well. And on one of David's last videos before he deleted it, he got pretty nasty and said, "Don't you dare talk about my wife. What happens in my marriage is none of your business." And he came unglued. So there may be something there too.
Clearly something touched a nerve.
Yeah. Oh, I think it touched pretty close. I think it touched pretty close because Laura and David have an unholy alliance.
So yeah, there's just like it's been well stated. There is something going on there.
And then, as Kim says, the budding music career. Laura tried to be a country music star. I covered that in one of my videos. We go over her music career a little bit, and we do some analysis. That's the most meta nerding out I've done. You may want to go check that out, my friend.
Maybe.
We talk about modes. We talk about the Aeolian mode a little bit.
Oh, dear Lord.
Yeah, see? How much more boring would your life be without me in it? Okay, that's self-serving.
Can I plead the fifth on that, or is it?
Wait.
I plead the fifth. I'm not going to get myself criminally in trouble. I plead the fifth.
Some people in chat might know who that is. As Megan Fox calls her, Elemental P, or Lynette Preston. I'm not going to talk about the Hales case because we'll be here for the rest of eternity. I've thought about covering that one too, but that Umbrella Guy Tug and Megan do daily shows about that case. There's
maybe
like 10
that can be saved
federal
for
cases
future
there.
live. Yeah.
I don't need to go there. There's enough with Laura Owens. I don't need to go on what the Hales.
All right. Fair enough.
I mean, Jeremy Hales has got his...
I'm just here as a sidekick to make snarky comments on the side, and that's,
I know. See, now what I've got to do is I've got to come up with a graphic that makes us look like we're in a balcony, and we can be Waldorf and Statler, like in the Muppets, and I'll figure it out. I've got some AI design work to do. So I don't know. Where else can we go with this? I keep derailing myself on everything I talk about because there's so much. There is too much to talk about.
You too, which is delightful for me because I can keep just.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, and it'll be entertaining for everyone else, and probably most especially the replay crew. So we'll see. Hi, replay crew. Greetings. It's Friday night. It's probably be Sunday or Monday by the time you guys watch this, but that's okay. Going live is an experiment, but I'm enjoying myself.
I'm having a great
I could
time.
go back to my notes because we were talking about Dingus the Douche Canoe, and then we went down a rabbit hole that probably lasted half an hour. So he was trying to, as I clear my throat and don't hit the mute button, pardon me. So rude.
Fix it in post.
I don't want to be like any of the anti-Hales ecosystem where they're smokers coughing into their microphone. I watch way too much YouTube. Oh, what would I do without YouTube? I would be in a terrible spot.
What would any of us do without YouTube?
Exactly my point. And see, I don't even bother with cat videos anymore because it's not nearly as entertaining as real people. Not nearly.
Yeah, but the cat videos give me the feelings from time to time, and
But you don't get the purr. I mean, you can hear the noises, but the vibration of the purr is where all of it is. That's where it's at. It's like the wagging tail of a dog. Okay, you can see it. It's great, but is it live or is it Memorex?
I got my. Okay, we're that old, and also
yes, I know. I'm dating myself.
Yeah, well, you're dating me too, so knock it off. No, I get my fix from FaceTiming with a family member's kittens that have recently been rescued out of the back, and there are mews and loud purrs that come over the video feed, and it's just like, God damn it!
Are you gonna have one come home with you?
No, I would not be allowed. They've all been.
Oh, they're spoken for. Okay, so your remarks
they're
safe
not
from
leaving.
Your mark's safe from being a cat daddy.
For now.
For now. Well, you never know. Someone downstairs. Never mind. Okay, we won't talk about that person.
I was tempted to bring that person up, but no.
No, we'll leave them out of this. We'll go back to talking about David Jingers trying to sneak into the case. Oh, now that my phone's not cooperating. So let's see. He tries to ghost represent Laura, and that becomes a whole thing.
Okay.
And there's a lot of behind the scenes conversation that happens there, and they're trying to get rid of the guy. I think that's where we ended this side branch of the conversation. They file for motions to disqualify David from representing Laura in San Francisco. There's a bunch of stuff that happens there. And there's a mix of, as Rachel Juarez said, a mix of Chat GPT and David and all of Laura's pro se emotions.
That's right. We were going to say you were criticizing me for my use of ChatGPT earlier and being well, Laura uses it too. And I'm like, you're an asshole for saying that, but please continue.
Okay, I won't lie. I use it too. I refuse to be called a boomer for not using it. So, I mean,
you're not a boomer. We're not boomers.
But we're getting called boomers. See, it's already happening. All of the kids
because they don't know math.
They don't know a lot
numbers
of
are hard. They learned common core numbers and it's just whatever.
I hear them talk and I see them like try and text each other, and I don't it's like watching web dings in conversation. I don't know what they're saying. They come up with words that make no sense to me.
Yeah,
the English language.
Again, this is why we sit in the balcony and holler at all of them. But
oh, you guys are terrible. Knock it off. I know. See, I'm going to have to make us an AI balcony for these evenings. I'm doing it. I swear to heaven, I'm going to do it. That's on my weekend thing to do after you and I do our things.
Yeah, it's fine. Go do it.
But yeah, and I've told people that the tunes I've come up with on the channel, that's all AI stuff. I work a long time on the words with AI, but I'm bad with words and writing songs. That's always been my Achilles heel. That's why I haven't done much composing.
Well, it's not like, well, you have talent.
Yes, I know.
It is with
words are not my strong suit though. With it,
words, maybe not, but everything else underpinning
everything else
said
after that,
thing,
it's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. So don't shit on yourself too much.
No, but you know, I think I get pretty good results from the AI music that I get the computers to make for me, so I don't have to spend months trying to produce stuff.
I don't know.
So
I laughed through most of your introduction songs, so that's fine.
I know, isn't that great? It's like it would take me weeks to come up with this.
Is this? The fuck's all this? And
I mean, it's the style I wanted. It's the right sort of words. We hit on some of the nice points of it being alive, and we're screwing
I'm just
around.
glad I was muted and not on camera at the time, and I'm just like, that was for the best.
I know. Well, at least I didn't play the cubbyhole intro with it. I think I'd get a personal note from Omar saying, "Okay, will you cut that cubbyhole shit out?"
I still want the score to your ragtime piece that you've affiliated with all of this nonsense that I need to figure out.
Megan played that on her channel, and I lost my shit when she played it. And it's like, oh, it's even got the piano track I made too. But it was funny. I actually joked about this in one of my videos. Bruce might have been on that. I think it was a live Megan had talking about the case. And they were talking about all of the cuts of David Gingras when he was debating, and I'm using air quotes, Reality Steve and Rachel Juarez back when he was just being a dick and he wanted to fight everybody. Well, he's still a dick, but that's beside the point. And she mops the floor with him, and the only response he has is just sort of, it's all these like poses. And so I cut it all down. And it's 3 minutes of him just getting his ass kicked and sighing and grabbing his forehead and going, Rachel, Rachel. But when Megan played it on her stream, she pulled it off of the beginning of one of my videos and it had the disclaimer. And she said, "Oh, will you just shut up?" I fell off my chair laughing. It's like Megan Fox is the only one that can shut me up by playing the first part of one of my videos that uses that cut of David Gingras in the music. So that was, I felt that was my high watermark early on. It was a good moment. So at some point I hope to magically appear with Megan Fox and we can just have a fun. I told Rosalind Duke on Omar's stream last night, I was making the joke. I want to adopt Megan and Rosalind as sister number 2 and sister number 3. And then I want to adopt Omar as brother number 2. Because Omar's young enough where he could be my younger brother. It makes me feel old. Such an age spread in my family.
You keep doing this to yourself. I'll just put that out there.
What, my age?
Yeah, aging yourself. You've done it like 3 times within the last, 5 minutes.
Well, it's just facts of life. That and all the pills and bills my doctor gives me. But let's not talk about that. That makes me feel even older still. People, this is what you have to look forward to.
No room to throw stones out of my glass.
Oh, no,
house.
that's a very glass house for you.
Oh, yes, 1,000%.
Okay, Kimbo says it's the best outro of all time. I keep calling it my greatest hits, but had Megan poked at me before she was going to use it, I would said, Megan, I've got one without all the disclaimer shit. Just go right to this one, and she can have it as much as she wants. I don't care. It's been my high watermark so far. The greatest hits of David Gingras, the douche canoe. Okay, there we go.
Douche canoe.
All right, I was just looking for an excuse to push the button.
I'm just going to call him Dingus the dipshit, in the future. But,
I've come up with so many variations. I don't know if I'm ever going to run out, as is everyone else.
Dipshit Dingus. I don't know. I'll find something that's like on the tongue. It's just like kind of fun like that.
It could use some fresh eyes. I don't think he's going away. He's still involved in everything she does.
Sounds like he's a fucking cockroach that's just going to survive all of these nuclear things. That's just never going anywhere.
Okay. Now I got to tell you some history. It's funny you say that because he called. Was it Megan and Tug? He called cockroaches. Early on in the Eckerd case, when he's going on one of his tirades against content creators, he called them cockroaches, and there may be a song. And he called them Pond Scum. And so there's a song called Pond Scum Posse. And there may be a cockroach song. I can't remember now. It's been a whole thing with him. So if I just fall off my chair laughing, it's because there's history.
Fair.
See, are you sure you want to stick your toes in these waters? You may just drown in it.
Only as the sidekick. I will be at least a half a mile from shore,
Batman and Robin.
so that I can at least use my Jeep and get the fuck out of there, and I'll be fine.
Yeah, well, good thing you've got a good strong winch on it now.
That's correct.
Yeah, you're going to need it. You're going to need it if you hang around. I'm going to drag you to Arizona. I don't know. Maybe we'll take a road trip in the Jeep. Although that's a long drive.
That's a long drive in the Jeep.
That's a long drive. I know. Well, maybe not.
We'll try and make it worth it. We'll find the.
I know. I'm committing some vacation time to seeing at least one of the criminal trials because I owe it to meet some of these people in the real world. I think I've attained just enough status. Honestly. What?
That could be a fun meetup.
Oh, these are probably some of the best people on the planet. Even the ones I may not politically agree with. It's like we're all in this together. That the right thing needs to be done here to put this bitch in jail for the rest of her life. At least that's where I think she needs to be.
So a TX packet. My Jeep is a 2021 JLURD.
What the fuck does that mean?
For Jeep people, you'll get it. But basically, it's a Rubicon 2021 Wrangler Rubicon Unlimited. So it's the longer body one. And the D at the end means it's a diesel engine. So it's one of those rare birds that actually was like a 3 or 4 year period. That actually had an eco diesel in there. So I've got torque for years.
Chat, he is very committed to his Jeep. It's his best long-term relationship so far.
You can pry that thing from my cold dead hands from now until I'm dead.
I'll pry other things from your inheritance from your cold dead hands. We'll save that for another day.
Yes.
You can keep the Jeep. I don't need it.
You'll get all my piano rolls. It'll be fine.
That'll be fine. And maybe I'll inherit a Steinway.
Maybe.
I might have to fight you for that one. Never mind. Okay, so where were
I might have that one put in the grave with me, but please continue.
Oh, don't tell that to Ray.
Oh, well.
Pish tosh. I was sort of thinking, just speaking of musical nerdery things, does my intro need a little accordion? I was debating that.
Oh.
So while you were snickering, I was going to say something. This needs more accordion. We'll save the inside jokes for later.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know. Well,
Kim, the
classic
the
rock.
Eco Diesel is Kim, the Eco Diesel is basically Jeep's branding for their diesel engine. It means nothing. The eco part of it means, as far as I'm concerned, it means nothing. But that's how they have it branded, so that it's apparently an eco-friendly diesel. But in the user manuals, it's like you can only burn 5% biodiesel. If you put 20% in, then you have to do certain things around burn it all the way down to almost 1/8 of a tank because it can gum up your fuel filters and blah, blah, blah. So is it really eco? I don't know, but that's what they call
No.
it. So.
Okay, chat, don't get him started about his other diesel gas guzzler. I mean, that's a contradiction in terms, but diesel guzzler.
Yeah,
we won't talk about the thirsty bitch.
Apparently I have my thirsty big fucking truck that I have literally no business owning, but
you do. Yeah. And that
I do.
Big fucking trailer.
I enjoy the fuck out of it. I towed it yesterday. I towed my big fucking trailer with it yesterday just to return a thing at Harbor Freight. And
you took that thing all the way to Harbor Freight. Jeez.
Yes.
Okay, we are having an intervention this weekend.
Bring it.
Are you taking that thing out to Peru's property?
No.
Is that what's going to happen tomorrow?
No.
Okay.
No, we're going to take the more economical vehicle.
We'll take the Jeep. All right, fine. I know you need your status symbol when you go looking at investment.
I don't need shit. I just need to find a place that's actually going to work for all of my toys.
I know. That's going to have to be one hell of a garage.
Yeah.
And we still have to get you the boat. See, you could have bought Dingus's boat.
No, you are.
You could have bought Dingus's boat.
No, you could have bought Dingus's boat, and I will tow it for you.
Well, no. That thing might have incriminating evidence all over it. I don't want it.
Well, then why are you telling me to buy it? That's
Well,
rude.
because you're removed from all of this. Well, not anymore. Now that you graced us with your presence,
I'm here
you
now.
might be implicated next.
You just, I thank God that's not my actual name on the screen, but like, I don't know, whatever. You buy the boat, I'll tow it, we'll go out and enjoy.
If by some weird chance you receive emails from Laura Owens or David Gingras, just throw them in the spam where they belong. I'll just say it now.
Yeah,
I will neither confirm nor deny that I've ever received anything from them, but
I wish them luck in finding out who I am based on this video alone.
I don't know how they do it. David's method was striking people and trying to dox them by getting their information, and people fighting the strikes he puts against their channels, like he did to Loud Little Ducky, and he doxed her upside down and backwards. Her phone number, her address, and the man should be in prison himself, in my opinion.
So one more tangent,
Dingus for prison.
because there's a thing on the side here on the chat.
What?
I also do play accordion. I am the proud owner of 2 Petosa accordions, and I'm this isn't sponsored, whatever, but
I wish.
Absolutely, I know, right? Because
I'll take that. I'll take that stuff.
But
I'm getting close. I'm getting close to monetizing.
I'm really enjoying what they have and going out and playing with some of my friends. That's just, chef's kiss as far as accordions are concerned.
Someone was on the concert stage with their accordion, but I won't say where that concert stage was, but I was a witness.
I have played twice with said group, and I would absolutely do it again.
And other things as they have come along.
Mm-hmm.
Golly, how many different digressions can we have in one evening?
Let's keep going.
This is real life for us folks.
This is real life. This is basically what we do when we get on a call independently, and
we're gonna board chat well into the evening. I may end up having MG Law have a run for his money if he's already on tonight. I haven't looked. We're busy. He's probably going already.
Jen, I've been
ducks
6 times.
What does that mean?
So I'm going
to regret asking that.
Yeah, you're going to regret it. So basically, if another Jeeper out there likes your Jeep or finds that it's like a cool rig or looks good or whatever, then you buy these little rubber duckies. I don't have the prop with me because I wasn't aware we were going to go here. It's in the Jeep. But basically, you place this little rubber ducky on their door handle or somewhere obvious, and then like the tradition is that you line them up on the dash so that you drive around with a row of ducks, and it's like a badge of honor kind of thing. Beyond the actual badge of honors you get from conquering trails with your Jeep, but that's sort of like somebody thinks you've got a cool Jeep, so you duck them, and so I have a total of 6 currently.
I'm afraid to ask. Do people just go around saying, "Hey, you want a duck"?
No, you literally do it in secret. And so like you're at the store and like you're not in your Jeep at all, and then you come back to a little rubber ducky on the door handle or the hood of your Jeep. And that's how people indicate, "Hey, you've got a cool Jeep." And that's it.
It's like the like button on Facebook.
Yeah, except you don't know who it comes from. Although I know who 4 out of my four ducks out of the 6 that I have, I know who, because there are also other Jeep people, and they're just like, "This is a thing. Welcome to the club." I've only owned my Jeep since last July, 2024. So I'm new to the scene in that respect. But yes, I've thoroughly embraced the community and Jeep Wave to all the people.
He's tried to get me out on trails with him. I haven't given in yet. I've seen terrified videos of other passengers, and I'm like, oh my God.
What? No, we don't do that. I'm not going to scare you the first time.
Oh, well, so that was not a first time.
No, I don't think so.
Oh boy. Oh, let's see
you'll
what
be
else
fine.
does TX say.
You'll be fine.
Encore turn. Oh, damn auto spell.
Yeah.
I'm reading chat.
It's the
Okay.
one time that actually that works, where you're trying to say one word and it autocorrects to duct, and you're like, nope, actually that might work.
It might work. Yeah. Well,
Might
apparently it has. And you've got a rubber ducky. You're the one. I've got an arrangement of that I should share with you sometime.
Oh, you
It's
should.
pretty naughty. It's pretty naughty.
Mm.
I was proud of it when I wrote it. Yeah.
I'm here for this.
Some other time. Actually, I shouldn't even say this. I think I made a recording of it.
Uh-oh.
Down in Studio A, I think I've got an old recording when I could still somewhat sing before life got in the way. I digress. Okay, back to Laura Owens.
Yeah, this is your show. Please continue.
I know. Well, I feel like I feel compelled to get through all of it. Maybe I'll just hit the highlights because I think everyone is pretty much caught up on what happened with the trial. But some of the
yes, and I appreciate
the behind the
TLDR
scenes
for
stuff.
that.
We stopped only like quarter of the way through. That may be enough for one night. As far as TLDR, because then you have to go into all the other history with all the guys. And okay, did they have sex? Did they not have sex? Did she have twins? Did she not have twins? Did it turn into a court case or other actions that she was trying to push legally? I mean, it's like you need a spreadsheet of all the different permutations of what she's done. And you'd probably have pages for every guy. It's just nonsense. But one of the things that I found really fascinating, and I'll skip through some of this because some of it's pretty obvious, is that she was just being a bitch the whole time. She was having her temper tantrums behind the scenes. She was sending the judge and the court all kinds of ex parte nonsense and flipping out. And Omar and Rachel kind of had enough of it. But one of the big things that came out in Omar's live last night was that there was a second lawyer that got involved quietly. That's sort of breaking news, sort of. I don't know if it's breaking news, but it came out in Omar's. Okay, that's the breaking news button. I'm not going to let it play. Every time I use it, like for more than 5 seconds, I get a strike or something. I get a copyright warning. It's like everyone else uses this. What's the deal? So there was, Omar explained it as someone who is apparently an attorney and a friend of the family was trying to negotiate behind the scenes after David Gingras was slightly out of the picture for representing Laura. And this other person who is apparently a family friend attorney, and there's only two possibilities that I could come up with, unless there's more people we don't know about, and that's Uncle Joe Cotchett, who's a big time lawyer in the Bay Area. And we think Laura has impersonated him in some of these other cases with men. Uncle Joe. Who was it? Who was it, chat, that Laura was...
She's stooped to impersonating men in this whole thing?
Well, she's stooped to impersonating attorneys. She's stooped to impersonating a black journalist from Howard College out east. I've got a story for that one. I haven't produced it yet, but I've got a whole thing on Chase J. Jones. I'm waiting to pull the trigger on. I was trying to get in touch with a local business who Laura used to impersonate Chase J. Jones with, but they have not responded to my media inquiries. So I think I'm just going to move ahead with the story. I gave them a chance twice. It's like, all right, if no one wants to, I don't even know if that email or if the business is legitimately active, but I went down in the south part of town to go look up this business that Chase J. Jones was using for their court filings, and I found the business, but I haven't done the story yet because I thought I would do a live outside the cubbyhole adventure. I might have to borrow you, and you could be my security.
Okay.
Read into that everything you will, since I'm not certified yet. It's in that part of town. MLK Way. Oh my God.
Oh yeah. No, I think I might need to accompany you on that.
Yeah, I got out of my car, looked around, and I went, this is a little more sketch than I remember being. And while I'm not trying to disparage certain demographics that live in that area, I was a little nervous.
Obviously. Yeah.
I was definitely out of my element and definitely not the right color of person. So, and a lot of crime does happen down there, unfortunately. So I thought, maybe I shouldn't do this just yet on my own. Just better safe than sorry.
Fair enough.
So that lawyer, that friend lawyer of the family, was trying to get Mike to agree to more restraining orders. And first they tried to offer a deal of it being a 2-year And no, we're not doing that. Well, how about a 1 year? No, we're not doing that. And, so Omar was saying, we're not going to do any restraints. And then they try and come back and, well, what if he signs an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, and promises to sign a non-disparagement agreement? So they're trying to do PR to save, like the family image. This unnamed friend family attorney, who I think is either her criminal attorney saying he's a friend of the family, representing her in her criminal cases, or it's Uncle Joe, as people in chat know. So I'm not sure. Maybe Omar didn't want to name him. He thought he was trying to work in good faith, so he didn't out the guy. And I was like, well, okay, good for you, but we all want to know who this is. I thought that was the biggest story in Omar's chat last night, or in Omar's live last night, was who's the second person that entered the picture to defend this crazy bitch? It's like, does everyone cover for her? And it seems like the answer is yes.
Sure does seem like it.
So I thought that was kind of the biggest news of last night. Oh, let's see what else. I'm just going through all my notes on my phone here because that's where I was taking notes as I was listening to all these interviews and things. Let's see. Yeah, they were trying to get him to agree to some sort of non-disclosure stuff, and then they would mutually dismiss. Stuff about Gingras, we can skip that. We've said enough about him. And they were trying to salvage something without Owen's embarrassment, anything that Mike would agree to. And essentially Mike's counsel, Omar and Rachel, said, no, she either lets it go or we're fighting this to the end, which that's expensive. And then, of course, there's all the conversation that happened ex parte with Laura, trying to get ADA accommodation to get out of showing up in person. And her textbook pile of medical maladies that she never seemed to get official treatment for, and it just goes on and on. I think I've got like a page worth of notes of stuff that happened behind the scenes, but I think the wind is starting to leave my sails a little bit talking about this. There was a bunch of shit about a court reporter. Omar and team were going to pay for the court reporter because there are problems. Evidently, California has staffing shortages. How did they get anything done? You walk into a trial ready to go, and you don't have a court reporter. That was day one, 2 weeks ago. So then, yeah, it's just, I don't understand it. I guess that's just
I figured that was kind of a given, but okay.
Well, I think Rachel said in her interview that it's just funding shortages in California. They just don't have enough money to get all the resources they need for efficient judicial process. It's like, God,
I mean, I'm kind of sort of surprised that they're not going to try. Well, you would think. Well, I mean, but California is also, required, to fund all of the, red states that, can't afford to exist. So that's probably why they can't. But also, I'm kind of surprised that they're not turning over that sort of thing to AI, because that's apparently the new thing of just like record all the things, do the transcript, and go for it. But
I think there's still some bugs to work out, and they know that. So and I'm sure the court, I don't want to say court industry, but just court culture and sort of the reliance in history on the written word, even though it's all shorthand. My mother could have done that. She knew shorthand.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I get the tradition. I get the reason why it is, but
yeah.
One of the things, like, I shit on AI all the time from my employer, from the usage that I do personally. The one thing it's really good at is transcription. And it's like, okay, I can see where that might be a thing in the future.
Yeah. And there, I would imagine the nuance in some time with technology will work itself out. And it probably will, because a lot of courts are live streaming and all of that kind of stuff this day. I mean, we've got several courts in this state that do that. And a lot of that footage gets used by content creators. I'm like, oh, that just happened right around here. And I get a little nervous. It's like, oh, okay, just keep your nose clean. Don't get into trouble, and you won't be on other content creators' channel.
Right,
because
exactly.
of our state courts broadcasting stuff. But I think there's something to be said about the transparency in the court system, which streaming it makes sense.
Yeah, I
And it's
understand.
easy access, but I'm sure there are plenty of judicial officers that would rather have court proceedings behind closed
I mean,
doors.
I
The
understand
hallowed
why.
walls.
I understand why certain ones would be excluded from that, given the sensitivity of some of the cases. Obviously, the current SCOTUS
But
would, you know,
where's that? Where?
they,
Damn it! Oh,
yeah, thank you.
I had to go looking for it.
There's a tradition there of not having that, like cameras and live streaming. I get that there's live tweeting and that sort of thing. That's totally okay, but like,
Yeah.
I get that, but there's a lot of tech that can really step in and be useful to some of this stuff that makes it more accessible and a little more transparent. That's not quite the court TV, true TV type stuff of sensationalized nonsense.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate a little bit on what the chat is that Jen just popped up here?
Yeah, I wanted to bring that up because that's part of the backstory that was happening behind the scenes. So throughout all of this domestic violence renewal thing that she was trying to do, and she kept trying to get out of making a live appearance, she started from the get-go claiming ADA needs, and she couldn't show up in person. What is it? Is it the Fourth Amendment that guarantees you to confront your accuser? And this is one of those, I think it's fourth. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. I like being able to say that. Fix me if I'm wrong, chat. Just point me in the right direction. It's legal tradition to be able to confront your accuser. And in the case of, a restraining order, that's absolutely the way it should be. I know there's certain situations in family law, probably more with kids, people underage, where you want to be more careful in what you expose them to. But in a case like this, Laura didn't want to appear. She didn't want to go to California. She didn't want to go to San Francisco and actually be there in person. So in her typical habit, she starts manufacturing problems and medical conditions and needs and issues and objections. And she just starts, like a rabid mouse of some kind, starts scurrying around, throwing stuff at the wall and trying to find something that'll stick to get her out of being held accountable for the action she's bringing. So what Jen is referring to is, I've actually got that somewhere here in my notes. Hang on, I'll find it in just a second. She tried to do some emergency stuff to prevent the process from happening more. She didn't want to go to trial. That became pretty clear as the process worked out. She didn't want to attend. She made it clear she wasn't going to attend, and she was looking for every excuse she could to get out of it. So on the eve of, which one was it, Jen? Was it the first week or was it this last week where she said that? I think it was the first week. She claimed an emergency medical procedure, and they were essentially calling bullshit. And she says, well, I've got proof that I was there and I was going to be under emergency anesthesia and get emergency surgery. And she says to Mike's counsel, well, just go to the hospital and pull the security footage and blah, blah, blah. So what they did was they gave her a HIPAA release that she refused to sign. So they called her bluff, is essentially what that's about. And Laura Owens does that regularly. She invents medical problems to try and get out of making an appearance to court. She did that with the last stuff with Clayton Eckert too. So it's just part of her habit. It's part of her playbook, is inventing problems.
Some kind of deflection.
Some kind of catastrophe that will give her an excuse. And she said to the judge, she sent all these emails ex parte without opposing counsel, Mike's two attorneys, knowing, to the judge and to the court, saying, oh, you need to accommodate me for this, that, and the other. You need to accommodate me for my autism. You need to accommodate me for my anorexia. You need to accommodate me for this, that, and the other. And you need to accommodate me for my PTSD and accommodate me for my, what else is there? The bleeding, the GI bleeding. I'm vomiting blood. So she sets up all, so you look at, your look is classic, sir. She is sending volleys of emails to the court, like every day leading up to and during this process, trying to get out of it. So that's what that reference is.
Okay.
And it went so far. After the first 2 days of trial, so 2 weeks ago, the first when the trial was supposed to actually happen and didn't. Later into the next week, she tried again to get more ADA accommodation to delay the trial. And the judge of the court, Carolyn Gold, who Omar was just glowing about, said, no way. No way. We have already accommodated you to continue the trial from the end of October. It was October 21 and 22 when she was at a horse show. And there were eyewitnesses that confirm her being at the horse show instead of in California to attend her trial. She tries to delay it further. They delayed it to November 5th. And she was required to be in person on November 5th. That was just Wednesday. And she goes through a bunch of machinations and just doesn't show up. But let's see, was there something I was going to say about the 5th? Because there's just so much stuff that happened that she tried to get out of. She claimed she had gotten a plane ticket. Her parents got her plane ticket. And because she didn't think she was being treated fairly and not getting properly accommodated, she goes to the chief judge of the family division to go full Karen on the judge presiding over this trial and say, they're not accommodating me. So that's what led to the continuance from October 21 and 22 to November 5th. They were just being careful. When she tried to get more accommodation, as I was saying, in that middle week before this last Wednesday, and the judge denied it, she appealed it. She went to the appellate court saying, I'm not being properly accommodated. And the appellate court said, fuck off, bitch. So they denied it. They denied her appeal, and they denied her emergency stay of the trial. So she had to show up or nothing. So all of her faffing about, for lack of better words, ended up nowhere. So she just didn't go. But she made a bunch of excuses that, well, I was going to go, but I'm being treated so unfairly. She pulled this shit in Arizona for the Eckerd paternity bullshit. I'm being treated so unfairly. You know, if you don't give in to daddy's little girl, then it's just nothing happens. She's so defiant. I think she's got some defiant personality disorder traits too. Oh, let's see. What does Karen say? Remember, she also stated that people lied about seeing her at the horse show. Yeah, that's something she did say. But I played that footage. Had some of it. It happened this last Sunday. People caught her riding in the competition with children, and she won first place. And I think she got a second place for something else. But she does like the little baby jumps for horses with all the kiddies, you know, kids that are like 11, 12, 13 years old. A 35-year-old woman going against all these kids on a horse because that's the only way she can win anything. They called it the modified what? Help me, chat. That was a whole big thing over last weekend, was her being caught playing hooky from her trials in October. No, it happened that weekend. So it would have been, the 26th? Was that Sunday? I'm not good at the calendar math. So there's that. There's that. And then there was a bunch of bullshit about her not liking the court reporter Omar had hired because the court reporter was going to be biased and a member of the JFC crew. So it wasn't going to be a fair and accurate record. So she objected upside down and left, right, and sideways about that. It was just one thing after another fighting it. And she didn't show up. So ultimately that got dismissed. And it was a win for Mike. That's the short story. Yeah. It's insane, isn't it? And I thought my legal woes were stressful. Dealing with this crazy woman, I just can't fathom.
Wow.
I just can't.
How does anybody keep their sanity within that inner circle of like her and lawyers? And I don't. Wow. Yeah. I can't.
All of the tangled webs that she weaves, and within her family, and with sort of that first outer circle of their acquaintances, it's unheard of. It's unlike anything anyone's ever seen. And Rachel Juarez was talking about this in her interview. We've never seen someone like this in the system before. You know, you compare that against diabolical serial killers and murderers, and we've got this anomaly called Laura Owens, faking all kinds of crap. And on the other side of the fence, we've got her family running bankruptcy schemes and what seemed to be what Big Tiff Dog said appears to be money fraud. Because once Laura was indicted the first time with the first 7 felonies, all of a sudden they start transferring some of the businesses that were sort of under Laura's name over to Mom, and money's moving around and they can follow it. So don't tell me that there isn't more shit happening elsewhere in the family. And I think that's where Laura gets it. You learn it from somewhere.
It would
Mental
stand to
health,
reason.
personality issues completely aside, she learned it from somewhere. I think she learned it from mom and maybe a little bit from dad, because there are stories that Ron was a pretty nasty person as a radio guy. And he was always hiring the youngest women and he was hitting on them. There's stories there. I don't know the truth of all of them, but
there's a lot of those stories that circulate both in radio and TV personalities, and even, like if we think about the more prolific stuff, like the
Yeah.
Harvey Weinsteins of the world and
Oh,
stuff,
yeah.
that like casting couches and stuff. It's like, it's no wonder, because I mean, you were at a certain point. I mean, at my employer, there's rumors of admin assistants and stuff, like having to, like, it's just, this is a tale as old as time. And like, that's learned behavior over like generations of like, well, that's just what you do, sort of stuff.
yeah. Karen makes this very interesting point. I read somewhere a long time ago that Jan got pregnant, and that's why Ron married her. They met when she was pretty young. Initially, she started working in San Francisco. She says she was on the radio from the get-go, but I found no evidence of that. An 18-year-old fresh out of high school, a young lady getting right on primetime air in the 70s. I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
Other people I've sort of conversed with said that's highly unlikely, but Jan Black, Elizabeth Ann Naylor Owens, she styles herself as being very important, just like her husband, because she doesn't want to look like she's playing second fiddle to the man. I think there's some jealousy issues there. But she's claimed all these awards, a Peabody Award, some other awards.
Right.
I haven't found evidence of those being true.
And like, if Ron had any sense of celebrity, like locally, even like that can get to somebody's head, of like going and like
just entitlement status.
Yeah, the entitlement status and celebrity status of like, I can kind of do whatever I want because I'm a local celebrity. Once that kind of gets into your head a little bit, particularly with the legit boomers, not the
real boomers, and not people labeling us boomers.
Yeah, exactly. Like that, like they think that they can just do that and there's no consequence for it, because then there really wasn't. That's kind of a recent phenomenon. And like, maybe Ron just sort of had that in his head that like, oh, I can just kind of do whatever I want to do because reasons, I'm a radio celebrity, blah, 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 and
yeah.
I
have a theory, and I won't say it's a new theory. I've been thinking about this for a while. I did a number of stories about some of Jan Black's early history. And because she was so young when she left New Mexico after graduating high school and got a job in radio at the tender age of 18, and she met Ron, who was in his 30s when she was in her late teens, I can't help but wonder if and this is my opinion, so I will preface it that, if he was either a predator or she was a gold digger, or maybe even both.
A little bit of all the above.
As they tell the story of how they met, and I've seen different versions of that story of how they met, she sort of says that that they were only passing acquaintances, but as someone else just put in chat, and I lost it because I'm looking at other things in the tab, they met. Let's see, they were together 10 years before she got pregnant with child number 1. I think she saw a guy who was coming up, and she latched on it, and Mama taught this to Laura, and I want to call it a cycle of abuse, frankly.
I mean, it probably
I think it's just all part of it.
I mean, this is kind of a tale as old as time.
These are learned behaviors.
It's been enshrined in music and stories and lore around like, I am a fan of Reba McEntire, and she covered a tune from back in the day called Fancy, and that was all about like putting on a nice face and being nice to the gentleman, and they'll be nice to you, sort of thing.
Sure.
Like that's a thing that happens, and like that's just like, doesn't mean it's right, but I mean that's the learned behavior of like that gets taught, sometimes by those who are, that use that as a lever of desperation to make it out from whatever sinkhole that they're in.
Yeah.
Fancy is fantastic. I love the tune. I love Reba's like
My
version
mother
of
liked
that
Reba
for sure.
McEntire.
Yeah.
It didn't grow on me, but
It's yeah. She's one of my country divas that I grew up
okay.
with because I grew up
Part
in
of the
the
playlist in the
I,
Jeep.
yeah. It's sometimes.
Okay, fine.
But that's just part of that culture of like the back in the day, like that's kind of how you made it, was to
Yeah,
be nice to the gentleman. We all know that's
especially one
code
with
for what it
some
is,
fame
right?
and notoriety, and
Mhm.
then latch onto him, because I think that's what Laura was essentially trying to do, was gold dig all these guys, because all of them were
Yeah.
fairly successful.
Well, of
Some of
course.
them were a certain degree of celebrity.
What's
Do
the
what mom
best
did. Go find
way?
yourself a famous, wealthy man and lock
Right.
your meat hooks into him. Get your
Well, and
get his balls in your purse.
correct. And what's the best way to permanently enshrine your way into another person's life? Well, for at least 18 or more years, it's have a kid, because then
Yeah,
there's an
entrapment.
obligation. There's an entrapment state. And it's,
Yeah,
I mean, no shade on anybody who's like going into that with joy and with consent and all the fun things, but like
well,
you and
consent's the
I
magic
know
word there.
you and I know people in real life that they are 1,000% trapped with a
Oh
very
yes,
unhealthy and toxic relationship, because and they
locked
can't
into
exit that
making babies.
because they've got kids, and because that person, like our mutual friend, has an obligation to said kids, even if that spouse is being amazingly abusive to that. So like, what better way to like lock your hands into that with a pregnancy thing, and then make it this like tight obligation, sort of thing, even if she gets knocked up by the local doctor, like what are they going to do,
Or the
go on the
local
Maury
lawyer.
Povich?
Oh,
Right. I- and then what are they going to do, go on the Maury
you never
Povich
know.
show and be like, who's the baby daddy? Like, come on, that
You are
really,
not the father.
right, exactly.
Oh,
And then
that
what?
would make content creators go wild if something like that. If that happened in this
Oh my
case, we
God.
would lose our shit.
Yeah. So that's just not the reality of how things, and but unfortunately there's people who that's just so ingrained and trained in there, like our mutual friend and mutual friend's
Mm-hmm.
spouse's
Mm-hmm.
mom. That's the whole deal,
Trickle
right?
down
Yeah.
behavior.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
learned behavior. It's all learned behavior
it's all
in the
taught.
end.
It's all like,
Yes.
in the end, it's all taught. So it's no wonder that Laura is just an acorn that hasn't fallen that far from her mom's tree.
Yeah,
But
mom and or dad or both. I think we're also trying to
unfortunately,
figure out who the perpetuator is.
and unfortunately for Laura, it seems like because there is no actual baby, that it's all a bunch of scam.
Yeah,
That's where her critical flaw is. Like if I go back to my information security roots, it's like that's the problem, is that it's not real and it's all fabricated. And like that's where, if she's using the same playbook over and over and over again and it's not working, that's where she's going to get caught. And that's
yep,
where it seems like she's getting caught now,
yes,
because the playbook is flawed.
yeah.
It's not
We're
working
engaging
out, and
in
she's not
transparent
smart
criminal
enough,
activity.
and she's not fucking smart enough or aware enough, or she doesn't have the right people around her to be like, look, dumb bitch, knock it the fuck off. Because like anybody who's sane would tell her like no, but they're all like, dipshit dingus is just like, oh, let's do the thing, whatever. Like,
Do the what?
it's just dumb. It's so fucking
Just
stupid.
stop. She's not going to stop
Just
till she's in prison. That's
no.
kind of my final word for the evening. Is she's her hole's too deep, and no amount of other
She has
lawyers
to play it.
are
She
going to fill
can't.
it
She
in.
can't dig herself out from it at this point. There's no
No,
winch
and
strong enough to pull her out of the sinkhole.
and
To
she
reference
it
you
seems like she
to,
believes her delusions to some extent, and so does her family.
yeah. Well, if you convince yourself enough, or you tell yourself enough the same thing over and over again, and you've got people like a mom figure that's coming in over and over and over again saying, "You're the victim. You're
Oh,
this.
honey, I
You're
agree
that."
with you, honey. You're fine, honey.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Then
it just reinforces.
that just reinforces it, and you dig your heels in further, and then like suddenly you're up to your neck, and you're just like, well, I guess I'm either dead or I keep going, because that's it. I don't
Yeah.
have any other choice.
Yeah. I think it'll be the hill she dies on and ends up in prison in. And I think we're all of us who've been following this for a while and we talk about it. I think we're all of the same mind that there's no plea deal in sight that's not going to result in prison time or jail time.
Oh God, no! I think at that point, as long as the prosecutors are well aware of what's going on,
well, they seem to have their thumbs on everything.
Yeah, so I mean, there's probably not going to be any sort of plea deal at all. Like it's just unfortunate.
This is a landmark case.
But she's trying to take lessons from people in actual power, like political power, that seem to be like Teflon, and like they don't like. So they're all emboldened. This is, I mean, let's zoom out beyond Laura Owens and all of this. This is like something that's everybody around that's trying to do scams and bullshit and stuff like this, and pull the wool over people's eyes of like they're like. This is just the MO right now, and it's been ingrained in us over the last 10 to 15 or even 20 years. And like Laura is just like, she's on the fucking bottom rung of all this bullshit. And like, but she's thinking like the new American dream of not getting prosecuted or whatever this shit is, right? Seeing
I don't know
these
what
people
it is.
that are pure evil, and she's like, well, if I'm just that evil, or if I just do that same fucking thing,
if I do it just enough and can get away with it,
I can get away with all of it. And like maybe she's finally going to figure out that that's not the case, because she's not in that 1% of the 1%.
Yeah, she's not as special as she thinks, even with Daddy's fame. And I think Karen kind of makes the good point. She's not going to take a deal, and she's shown no contrition or remorse or any sort of accountability for what she's done. She believes that
she's been raised
right
by a bunch of narcissists, and like as one herself, she will literally
it'll never happen.
Never happen. Never.
Yep.
That's not how they work. Narcissists do not compute admitting that they're wrong. They just don't.
Yeah. And that's fair, Jen. She has a little bit different motives than a typical scam artist, but her intent is to latch onto a man that will worship her. I mean, we saw that with a couple of cases already. So
again,
she wants someone to be obsessed with her.
That's narcissist playbook.
She wants her man to be obsessed.
To stay out of, right, and her intention is to not be insolvent and to not be in jail for the rest of her life. She's already been declared insolvent, according to what Sean has told me here. So like, and in other forums. So I mean, like, what's left? It's
Not
just
much.
to stay out of jail.
Yep.
It's just to stay out of the prison system and to stay out of that.
And try and keep doing it till you latch onto a guy who will stick.
Yep.
Oh, get her into prison before she can find another victim. That's about all we can say.
Just get her the fuck out.
And maybe they can straighten her out with compelled mental treatment and so on and so forth in the prison system.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about all you can hope for. But there you go. Well, my friend, I think if we talk about this anymore, we're going to be going for another 5 hours. So I think we should both take a breather from Laura Owens before I go mad.
I think so.
Because it's been a very busy week. It's been a very busy week. There's been a lot that's happened with the success and the dismissal of Mike Marraccini's DVRO case in San Francisco, and with the new 7 felonies that came from Maricopa County just yesterday. Yeah.
That's going to be interesting.
I can't remember what day these things happen when they all happen at the same time.
I'm going to continue to live vicariously through you, and maybe I'll join you.
Oh, you're going to be on again
for another slew of like shockers.
You're going to be on
and,
again,
like,
and
what the fucks, and like eyebrows crawling up my forehead and all that.
and I'm going to have to see if I can charm myself to get Bruce the Moose on with us sometime.
Ooh,
he might be amenable to that.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Bruce is a kick. If you want to go see Bruce in action, he's got a channel. Bruce the Moose. He's no longer Bruce from Oregon. He's Bruce the Moose in Wisconsin. What a move! That's a big move. He had a tech fan, so we called him the Moose on the Loose and the tech fan. There's more stories. There's more stories. I will regale you for months. Then we're gonna have to do this again, and we've got to get at least you caught up, because we need. Every man in the world, even if they don't play for that team, needs to know about this insanity.
Look, I feel caught up enough. Like, and again, I'm
Tip of the
fine
iceberg.
playing.
Tip of the iceberg.
I know, and that's why I'm saying I'm good. But let's like continue to have the, like another moment of like going through these things and like analyzing that and see what happens.
Oh, there's so much. And I've got some other stuff I would definitely want to go back and look at some more as we start talking about these new felonies and more of the story of the guy they're around. Cause it's just, I mean, it's a lot of it's more of the same, but because it's new people and some of the details vary. It's like, okay, what did she try and change to get this one? And how does that relate to more criminal stuff? So it's like Christmas. Oh, what is it? Is there a name for those little Russian dolls where you just keep pulling them out of each other? Is there
I think
a name
they're
for
just
those?
Russian nesting dolls. I think is what it is.
That's what I'm looking for. That's what this whole story is. You find one, you get more. And as Rachel said, and I think this is a good final thought to leave on, this is an unprecedented case because it's almost unheard of to go and charge someone and prosecute them for perjury. And I mean, there's more to that for Laura now. And we've got all these extra things beside from just perjury. But that's where this started was, oops, I got caught lying in the court. It's
now, how do I squirrel my way out of that? It's
landmark. Because how many other bigger people, and you could point to Hollywood or politics, who've danced around that most of their lives.
Yes.
So to see a judicial system, at least in the state of Arizona, and I don't mean that as a slam on Arizona, but just to see that happen at all, that someone's being held accountable for being a lying bastard in a court. Well, she's not a bastard because never mind. Before I dig that hole,
the other C word, the other C word. Yeah.
The Charlie uniform November tango.
Yes, yes, that one.
I think I did that right. Did I do that right? I think that's the right words. My flying lingo's a little rusty. I haven't gone flying for a while. Okay.
You did fine.
I pulled that out of my ass, I'll admit it. Yeah, so
Good
this
job.
is going to be a case that has some judicial implications around the country, I think. And I think we're going to start seeing because how many women, I mean, hashtag me too, and I've railed on that a little bit. This is a classic case of how believe all women is a problem. And I don't think I need to say much more than that. So that's why we talk about these things. And mothers are sharing the story.
Male, I'm in no position to say anything about that.
Yeah. But mothers are sharing the story with their kids, with their sons, and saying, watch out for girls like this. Be careful. Be responsible if you're going to engage in adult activities and know how things work. Because there could be another Laura Owens around the corner waiting to go after more people. It's predatory behavior.
As long as we live in a hyper-capitalist and litigious society like this, there will be another.
Yeah, we can pretty much guarantee it.
Yep.
But at least there's a methods like, oh, okay, we can prosecute for this when it's just too bad that there have been decades that have gone by that these guys have suffered at the hands of this crazy woman.
Yeah.
But that's why we talk about it. We want to get it out in the open as much as anybody can. And, it's just a good tale of how not to do life. Be
Sunlight
a decent,
is often
upstanding
the best
person.
Disinfectant, right? Well,
she went to the Sun and look what it got her. The Sun tabloid, that is. Bum ching. Oh, damn it, that's the wrong button.
Well, okay, there you go. Yeah.
Okay, I fixed it.
Okay, yeah.
We'll have to work on some studio layout here. Yes. Brad was laughing at my mess, so we've got to work on this. Okay. Well, thank you, my friend. I think let's call it here before we go any longer.
I think so. It was a truly a fun pleasure to join you and to get the TLDRs such as they could be after 2+ hours of TLDRs.
I know.
And
I might have to make a really condensed one. Some others have done that, but I think I might have to do one and see how far down you can strip it down to actually get through all of it. I think it's still going to be an hour.
I do appreciate all of the fellow Jeepers and the accordion enthusiasts and the. I don't feel so alone in my weird hobbies.
See, I knew it.
So it's great.
I knew there would be. I wasn't going to tell you that, but I thought for sure, even if I have a small chat, there's going to be some Jeep fans.
It's been great. It's been fantastic. So yeah.
All right, everybody, as we go out, be sure to hit the like and subscribe, feed the algorithm, share it, all those good things. Make sure you've got those notifications turned on. Otherwise, you're never going to know when we do this sort of craziness, but Friday might be a semi-regular thing. I don't know. We'll see.
Until
was
I start
fun.
getting some dates, and then I don't know. We'll have to schedule that.
It was fun. Don't go away after I hit the button, and then we'll officially close it out. But good night, everybody.
Good night.